saying, but we were actually able to talk about that too. So I thought that was pretty good. Pretty good
Oh,
indeed.
so you mean, so for our audience who doesn't know, you're on a stint of travel right now. You're doing like a tour of all kinds of different conferences and you're speaking and performing. And are you saying that you're concerned because this is like a new relationship and you started dating this person closer to where you live, but you're not going to be around for a couple weeks? And so what's going to happen there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you just meet somebody and you really like them, I don't know. Well, what we did, man, I'm really oversharing today. I hope this is okay. Um,
No, yeah, it's great. I mean,
well, I
tell
mean,
me
it's
how
a
you handle
relationship
that.
show, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if I don't talk about it, how is it going to be helpful to people if they don't understand my kind of logic or whatever? But
Yes.
one of the things that I was worried about was, all the skanky girls, right? I don't know. That's what I imagine. I just imagine like harlots, just like cooing and writhing or something. So anyway, and I think that might be a concern for him too. All the random guys that I run into on the road and stuff like that. First of all, you can never guarantee who somebody else is going to meet. But I think that's really scary. You don't want the person that you like to meet somebody else. So in our case, we decided that we're not going to date other people while we're figuring out where we're at. And that's brought my anxiety level down way big time. I mean, I feel way better now, you know? I don't know. It's a
Yeah.
really nice feeling. I think a lot of people, they like to date multiple people at the same time. And they say that that's good for anxious people because then you don't develop too much of an attachment to a single person. But it doesn't really work for how I like to date. I feel like it kind of kills the romance. You know what I mean? It just makes everybody, well, if you don't work out, I'm going to have this other person. That's not very hopeful behavior. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. What you just said was absolutely me in the past, where I was sort of like, well, I don't want to be invested in this one person too much. I want to kind of like diversify my relationship life a little bit so that if this person disappoints me or if it doesn't work out, I can always have someone else waiting in the wings that I can go to. And I don't have to actually work on the problems with the one person. And that was not serving me. I just realized recently, and I've changed things. So yeah, I mean, I think for some people that's absolutely the case where, if they have the option to date multiple people, they're not gonna put as much effort and energy into watering their own grass or like maintaining their the one relationship that they started out with, right? It's sort of like a quality over quantity thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's better to date singularly at one time.
Your anxiety knowing that you're both on the same page about wanting to date the other one exclusively, right? Because if you're in an exclusive arrangement with someone that you're not really sure about, or you're like, I don't know about this person, they might have some problems. That to me, that could raise my anxiety level. But if you're really on the same page about like, no, we both want this, then it's a wonderful thing that makes you feel really secure.
I think that this is an exceptionally nice guy. He seems, I mean, look, he could be a psycho. I really seem to attract them. But so far, he's been super duper nice, much more so than other guys. And I think that's also brought my anxiety level down as well. You know what I mean? I don't know. I
Yeah,
like the
well,
reassurance. I
actually, let
like the consistency. If somebody's able to be consistent with me, then that brings my anxiety level big time down. And the fact that we had that conversation before we left, it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand what you mean about consistency, but like, how else has he been? When you say he's been nice, what do you mean? Like considerate or attentive?
Oh man, I'm not trying to talk about this whole freaking situation. I mean,
Okay,
he
you don't have to answer.
well, no, but now it's gonna, nobody wants to listen to somebody not answer a question. So he texts often. He's like, if he doesn't text for a while, he usually says, "Oh, sorry, I was doing this," without me having to ask. So it makes me feel like he's not doing anything sketchy. I also realize I'm not allowed to, like, he's allowed to do as many sketchy things as he wants. You know what I mean? I don't even have the right to expect him not to be doing those things, but it still makes me feel good. He's
Well,
made,
you do have the right to expect him not to talk to other women now because
well,
you're dating,
now,
right?
sure, but not before that. You know what I mean? And also, I don't want to be too demanding. I mean, I think that there's a lot of magic in a relationship that needs to develop with a little bit of air to breathe.
Hmm.
And I'm not looking to kind of force anything. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
being said, he's taken me out and he's treated me really well every time. And the conversation is really easy and going. And I don't know, he just seems trustworthy. I don't know if there's anything specific. I mean, there are things that are specific, but I don't want to go into those. I mean, it's a new thing and who knows where it's going to go, but
no, that's a good answer. He's seeming trustworthy. I mean, that's a big deal, right? Because, relationships are about building up trust, right? And how do you build trust? Well, consistent behavior over time, doing what you say you're going to do, following up, following through, and basically just having integrity. And it sounds like that's what he's doing. So great.
Yeah, so far so good. Now I feel like slightly anxious again. But yeah, so hopefully if people have been listening to this, they enjoyed the freak out episode and maybe they also have freaked out. If you guys have freaked out, you guys should send us your information, your stories. Or if you have any questions for our Q&A episodes, we've been doing some of those lately. You can send them to Tatiana at cryptomediahub.com or go to proofoflovecast.com and there's a contact form in there. So send in your stuff there. Anything else?
Yeah, no, you did it perfectly. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Share this show with your friends. Proof of Love on Fridays and the Tatiana Show on Tuesdays. Thanks. Bye. If you have a project that needs reliable cryptocurrency data, check out blocktap.io. Blocktap.io is a universal cryptocurrency API. You can get historical prices for Bitcoin and other digital assets that you can use to build charts and do market analysis. Blockchain data is also indexed so you can get transaction statistics, address balances, and more for Bitcoin and other networks. Blocktap.io is free for personal use, and you don't even need to create an account to access the API. To get started, try some of the example queries on the homepage at blocktap.io. Show me your heart. I know that it's beating. Tell me that you love me too. So I know your heart is true. 'Cause I need some proof of love. 'Cause I need some proof of love. 'Cause I need some proof of love. Do you like cryptocurrency, politics, economics, activism, or art? Then check out The Tatiana Show, where you can learn all about it in a fun and non-intimidating way, as if you're just hanging with friends. Go to thetatianashow.com and listen now. Thank you for listening to Proof of Love. Please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Proof of Lovecast. More episodes can be found at proofoflovecast.com. And make sure you leave a review on iTunes and tell your friends. Proof of Love has been brought to you by CryptoMediaHub.com, a boutique marketing and PR agency for Bitcoin and beyond.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
You're 6 minutes away from a live episode of Free Talk Live. Listen live at freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,405, silver at $15.12, and Bitcoin is trading at $11,700. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, investigative journalist Vicky Ward dropped a bombshell on Tuesday in an article for the Daily Beast, where she reported that U.S. Secretary of Labor Alexander Acosta reportedly stated that ill-famed Jeffrey Epstein belonged to intelligence. The Mind Unleashed reports that Acosta reportedly made the statement during his interviews with the Trump transition team, while being vetted for his current position of Labor Secretary. As the former U.S. Attorney in Miami, Acosta infamously cut Epstein a non-prosecution plea deal in 2007 for charges related to the sexual exploitation of underage girls. After being asked if the Epstein case would cause a problem in his confirmation hearings, Acosta reportedly responded that he only ever had one meeting about the case and had been told to back off, and that Epstein was above his pay grade. Quote, "I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone," end quote, Acosta told his interviewers. The Department of Labor had no comment when asked about it, according to the Daily Beast. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A Phoenix, Arizona man who was shot in his genitals by Phoenix police during a 2017 anti-Trump rally has decided to sue. Following a recent national investigation into the social media accounts of police officers, Scottsdale resident Josh Coben discovered that not only were his genitals targeted by police pepper balls, but he was the hapless brunt of police jokes as well. President Donald Trump visited Phoenix on August 22, 2017. A subsequent rally decrying his presence in the city took place on the streets of downtown Phoenix. Instead of peacefully protecting the protesters' constitutional rights to assemble and protest, Phoenix police fired tear gas and projectiles, such as the pepper ball which struck Coben. The young man was struck in his private parts after he decided to kick a canister of tear gas back in the direction of the police. Thousands of alien enthusiasts appear to be planning to storm the infamous Area 51 in Nevada in a desperate attempt to gain entrance into the conspiracy theorist mecca. The Mind Unleashed reports that a Facebook event named Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us, was started to announce the plan, which is scheduled to take place at 3 o'clock in the morning of September 20th, 2019. At the time of this publication, 316,000 Facebook users had RSVP'd to the event, and another 340,000 confirmed they are interested in attending. At the time of publication, over 15,000 posts had been made in the group, with memes, plans on how to hatch the raid, and even merchandise created for the event populating the page. Clearly, the page is meant to be a joke, but with so many saying they want to attend, the creator of the page made sure to clear himself of responsibility if there are some willing to storm the highly secure military base. The United States Air Force facility, commonly known as Area 51, is a highly classified remote detachment of Edwards Air Force Base within the Nevada Test and Training Range. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
To help you understand how dangerous narcotics operations have persisted despite decades of bold efforts to completely mishandle the problem, we now present The Onion Explains, the drug trade. The cartels remain as powerful as ever. Experts say that the only solution is to eliminate the demand for illegal drugs by instead getting buzzed on common household products, like cough syrup. Not only do items such as nail polish remover and model glue get you ripped if you really breathe that in, they also help shrink the market for cartel drugs. Cartels would stand to lose billions if even a third of the people using their cocaine or methamphetamine instead huffed Freon, which will knock you right on your ass just as quickly. It's easy to get by cracking open an air conditioner. If enough people realize that keyboard cleaner will put you in a insane trance and that it's just sitting there right now in your desk drawer, the costly war on drugs could very well end tomorrow.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. Special Saturday edition, a special grown-up edition, I like to think of it as. In studio, it's myself, Chris.
And me, Mark.
And we call these shows grown-up editions because, well, I'm older than dirt, and Mark is somewhat
Nearly
younger.
as old as dirt.
Nearly as old. Mark is somewhat younger. I am also brain-addled, which is a new experience for me, more than normally, due to the onset of Lyme disease. So if I happen to call you by my grandfather's name, just understand that I meant you. Does that work out?
That's fine.
All right.
What is your grandfather's name?
I forget. Well, my grandfather's name is Omar. His middle name was nothing. And
just Omar.
Just Omar Reitman.
Okay.
And then my father's name was Omar also, but his middle name
not
was
uncommon.
Eugene.
Okay.
Therefore, logically, my middle name would be Eugene and my first name is Chris. It makes no sense.
No.
But there is some family history that the preferred family name was Pancrats, that I should have been named Pancrats according to
What
my...
do you shorten that to?
I don't know.
Okay.
I shorten it to John, Bob, Bill, something, anything but Pancrats.
Yeah.
But speaking of strange happenings, and this one just kind of befuddled me. This comes to us from the New York Daily News. It's about St. Louis police.
Okay.
And
so that's near the Ferguson, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not far from Florissant, where my girlfriend is actually from.
Okay.
The issue is, well, today's issue, there's always plenty of them with these guys, but today's headline is St. Louis Police Union asks officers to post Punisher logo in solidarity with cops under investigation.
Okay, so what are they under investigation for?
I believe the story's going to get into it in more detail, but
there.
there was a large investigation of police departments and their social media posts by members of the force.
I believe I have heard about this on the news.
Yeah.
These are some posts that would be considered distasteful when considered that they are posted by public servants.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll just jump into it right now. The skull icon, based on the comic book vigilante The Punisher, has been, quote, widely embraced by the law enforcement community as a symbol of the war against those who hate law enforcement, unquote, said Ed Clark, the president of the St. Louis Police Officers Association.
So the union president says that the symbol, the union guy, the police union guy says that this is a symbol to sort of counteract the hate for police unions?
Yes, by sending hate the other direction.
All right.
In a message posted on the group's Facebook page, as the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department conducts an internal review of cops who published a range of concerning images and statements on social media, a police union...
And I've seen some of these, and they are concerning.
Absolutely. A police union asked its members Wednesday to post a Punisher symbol in solidarity with officers under investigation.
So this immediately, I worked at a comic book store from the time I was 12 years old to the time that I was 18.
I'm looking at you as an expert witness.
Yeah, well, Punisher has moved on from comic books into a couple of movies and a TV show.
Shows, yeah.
And I can't speak to those. I haven't seen the Punisher movies or the TV show. I would presume that they stick with this character who is a Vietnam War vet who wears white go-go boots and is sick and tired. Well, he has a white skull on his chest. This is the skull that they're referring to.
Gotcha.
And they, in comic books, you have to come up with a theme, with your characters, because back in the day when they drew these things, they had to. They weren't very clear. They were all on pulp paper. So you knew it was Punisher because you saw the black outfit with the white boots and the skull from a distance. You could tell who it was necessarily. That way you didn't have to, their comic books these days are on much better paper and much better drawn.
True.
But so, this is why Dick Tracy always wore the yellow hat with the yellow thing, because that way you could tell Dick Tracy in a 2-inch by 2-inch frame where he's, running down the street. You can't put
True.
make it clear that it's him in any other way except he's wearing yellow.
It's an interesting insight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the concerning part about Punisher is he's this Vietnam War vet who's mentally deranged because of the war. His family has been snuffed out. He is going to stop crime in any way he can. And, that includes beating or killing the bad guys. And he beats and kills bad guys on a pretty regular basis.
Vigilante justice.
Right. And this is concerning because not only has Marvel been very clear in its portrayal of the Punisher when speaking to police officers that the Punisher doesn't believe that police officers should be using his symbol.
Right.
But I don't believe it either. I don't think that there's really no room in this unless unless you could make the claim that the Punisher symbol has moved on from the Punisher to something else, which is solidarity amongst police officers, and maybe they should come up with their own symbol then, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, one would think. The city's top cop, however, took a different view.
I want to finish my view here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My view is that this police officers adopting this Punisher logo says that we are sick and tired of enforcing the law and will now enforce whatever we call the law. We will get justice in whatever way we want to get justice, and up to and including shooting and killing people. Because that's what the Punisher is. When you adopt his symbol, you say, I'm going to murder for what I believe is right and screw the law. These are people that took oaths to the United States Constitution, to their state constitutions, oaths to uphold the law and do a variety of things. So they're either people, they either believe in their oath or they believe in whatever the hell the Punisher believes in, but you cannot believe in both.
I would certainly hope that they would value that oath over a comic book character. But who knows?
I can understand working their job and being extraordinarily frustrated with the line of individuals that you deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely.
I can only imagine that that's the case. One of the reasons that they get to retire early and a whole variety of benefits that public employees enjoy is because presumably they're going to take that on in a professional capacity. And if they can't, then they shouldn't be in that line of work.
Right.
And I understand the police union doesn't want to hear that, but that's the reality of it. If you can't do the job, and the job is to uphold the law, then you need to be elsewhere. Well, and I say this as a firefighter, by the way.
True, yeah. I think this article did a good job of bringing sort of that to the forefront, which I think the police union did accidentally. They just wanted to show a tough symbol.
Sure.
Show that we're all together and we're not going to put up with anybody who doesn't like police.
Well, there's no shortage of Punisher symbols and in association with police out there. This isn't brand new.
Right.
The police union's doing this because this is relatively commonplace. They're doing what is some of their police officers want. And I imagine most of them aren't comic fans, that they just like the symbol. And the symbol kicks butt. It's a cool symbol. It's the skull with these long teeth that can be sort of put in a variety of abstract ways, and it's awesome. There's no doubt about it. It just doesn't belong with law enforcement or overlaying on an American flag. Even worse.
Yeah, American flag with a thin blue line and a Punisher symbol all on top.
Is that what you're seeing in the article?
Oh, no, but
okay.
I can see it every day if I wish.
Yeah.
The city's top cop, by the way, spoiler alert, he agrees with you, Mark.
Oh, is this the chief of police?
Yes.
Okay.
However, took a different view. In a Thursday memo obtained by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, St. Louis Police Chief John Hayden told officers that the logo, quote, does not coincide, unquote, with the department's, quote, mission to protect life and property and achieve peaceful society, unquote. Hayden did not say officers could not post the Punisher logo in his memo, but he asked them to be careful about the messages they send to the community via social media.
Yeah, I think that you could adopt the Superman symbol, the Captain America symbol, a variety of symbols out there that did not, send the message the Punisher symbol did. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on this symbol? The number is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE as in Free Talk Live.
Are you concerned that the values that made America great are no longer taught in schools? Well, I am, so I got my son the Tuttle Twins children's book series.
My name is Jack, and I'm 11, and I just finished the Tuttle Twins series. It taught me about liberty, free market economics, and entrepreneurship.
Give all the young people in your life a chance at reason and clear thought, because they're not going to get it at school. There are 9 books in the series, and each one teaches a set of ideas that children aren't getting elsewhere. Go to TuttleTwins.com and coupon code FTL to get 40% off. That's TuttleTwins.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, a special Sunday edition, 855 450 free. That's 855 450-3733. That's our toll-free number. That's how you get on a nationally syndicated radio show.
200 radio stations these days.
And counting. I just love to see that number go up. There's a lot of ways to measure success. That's one that I love to see that number click up every once in a while.
It does feel good.
It does indeed. We've been talking about the St. Louis Police Department and their police union, which is asking officers to post the Punisher logo so they let everybody know that everybody is with it and everybody is against people who do not like cops. But before that...
Yeah, I want to talk about Bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com is where you go to get all the information you need about cryptocurrencies. Maybe you'd heard that Bitcoin was dead. Maybe you heard that it was alive again. Maybe you heard it was dead again. Maybe you heard it was alive again. Like, it just keeps on being dead and alive according to the mainstream news. Depends on which media outlet that you are taking a look at. But
or maybe even the president.
Right. So the president's now saying, well, I think that probably the biggest endorsement of cryptocurrency yet is the president says that it's really important that this not compete with our money. Well, of course.
Because Bitcoin is based on nothing. It's made up out of thin air, unlike the U.S. dollar. Never mind.
The Federal Reserve note. I wonder what that's based on. Anyway, the full faith and credit of the United States government. Well, I don't know about that, but I don't have the full faith. I don't have full faith in the United States government anymore, or it's certainly not the Federal Reserve's management of its currency. I consider that to be the number one problem with the United States government.
Hear, hear.
So, you need to find out more about cryptocurrencies. By the looks of it, these things continue to grow in popularity and usage and these sorts of things. And, one day, that thing that was just a fad then becomes a way of life. At one point, automobiles were a fad. Now, the idea of riding a horse is ridiculous. So, Bitcoin.com is the place to go, whether you need to get a wallet app or whether you're looking to purchase some cryptocurrency, be it Bitcoin Cash or any other sort. Bitcoin.com is the place to go. And they give you all the latest news, ways to acquire the currency. Everything you need is at Bitcoin.com. So please head on over. But by the way, they do give away, once you download their wallet, they have some free Bitcoin Cash that they'll send you. It's not much. It's like
nice.
It's like a dime's worth or something like that. But nonetheless, it gets you something put in the wallet and get started with. So it's Bitcoin.com.
And I know a lot of people that got quantities not a whole heck lot larger than 10 cents or 25 cents of Bitcoin when it came out.
Right, and then those quantities grow.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, Mark. We're going to go to the phones where we've got Dave in New Hampshire. Dave, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Jim, there has been a development in Richmond, New Hampshire.
Okay. Where is it?
Which is yet another town which has gotten rid of its fire department. I'm sorry, yet another town which has gotten rid of its police department.
What's the town?
Richmond.
Richmond, okay.
Richmond. So they have done away with their police department. Okay.
Correct. And the reason they did it, according to the town government, was to try and save money. They have contracted with the local sheriff's office to provide coverage. The bad news is that this is, I think they may actually have more police coverage now in a sense than they did before.
Yeah, Richmond's a small town. For those of you who may not be familiar with how New Hampshire works, towns can have a police department. They can budget for one.
I think that's pretty much true all over the U.S.
Yeah, I'm just speaking specifically about New Hampshire, and they can hire officers and stuff like that. In New Hampshire, if they choose not to, they can just not have a police department.
In which case, they'll be covered by the county mounties and by the state
police, right?
Right. So, down in Florida, that would have been called the Florida Highway Patrol. Up here, it's called the State Department of Safety or something like that. And yeah, this is relatively true probably all over. And I think that when I look at sort of the budget lines for towns and spending, the number one thing is always the schools.
Yes.
So there you have, me being forced as a taxpayer to pay for the worst school for a given grade in a given geographic area. So number one, I've got to pay for the worst school every time. And then number two, the police department. Now, the police department often can run in the black because they can give out tickets and those sorts of things. But that's not true in New Hampshire, but it's true in many places. So, that's something to look at. But what are they doing? They're giving tickets to everybody, and oftentimes, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I feel like many of the speed limit signs are just wrong for where they are.
They're just moneymakers.
Yeah, well, oftentimes that's the case. If you wanted to just give tickets, by the way, you can get an automatic ticket giver that just spits out a ticket for everybody who goes by 1 mile an hour over the limit. If the limit is actually the limit to safety, then it should be, right? Oh, is it 10 miles an hour over is the safe amount? Well, then why isn't that on the speed limit? I don't know the answer to these things, but if you have some kind of domestic dispute, or there's a real crime or something with a victim, then oftentimes the other police agency can cover it. The county mounties or the stadies can come out and cover it, and everything's fine. So oftentimes the town police, at least here, become revenue generators from the standpoint of just handing out tickets.
Yeah, they can, and they do in New Hampshire. Towns can come up with their own set of ordinances, and they can ticket people for those. And the long and the short of it is, it's just it's one more way that they can extract a little bit of money that they don't do directly through a tax. They'll just give you a ticket for it.
Many towns across the U.S. have this as a line item.
Oh yeah.
The politicians count on the cops generating money.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Dave.
There's more good news. As Winston would say, there was a pathetical moaning which ensued from the local authoritarian faction and the police chief, who was soon to be without a job. Pathetical, yet inspirational.
So that's a pretty good Winston Churchill imitation. Yeah, I would think that the police chief would be very concerned about his employment, and well, I'm certainly not applauding the situation. I'm not happy when a person loses their job. But the problem with working for the public is when the public determines that something is more efficient, then what commitment do they have to the employees? And I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, you should be getting what you deserve in your paycheck on a weekly basis, not some kind of ethereal, well, I'll be employed for the rest of my life kind of claim.
Too many.
I'm pretty sure that in the American police state, he's not going to have any trouble finding a job. But there's another aspect of this, that there is a place and a time where there really is a lack of policing in New Hampshire, and that's called Porcupine Fest every year in Lancaster.
That there is, and we're thankful for that. Thanks for the call, Dave. 855-450-FREE. We've been talking about the Punisher. We've been talking about police. Hopefully you have some thoughts on either or something else entirely. 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Are you dealing with overwhelming credit card debt? Then it's time to get rid of it with a mortgage refinance from American Financing. You'll work with a salary-based mortgage consultant, so there's no pressure and no commission. No upfront fees either. I recommend American Financing because they continue to help customers save $1,000 or more each month without resetting their loan term. You may even be able to postpone up to 2 months of mortgage payments, creating an even greater upfront savings. Not a homeowner yet? Mortgage rates have been falling for the last few months, making it a great time to buy. Get started now by calling 888-804-0303. That's 888-804-0303. Or try their new digital mortgage at AmericanFinancing.net. You can download an instant pre-qualified letter, and you can complete the entire mortgage process online anytime, anywhere. 888-804-0303 or AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org.
U.S. presidents often take credit for solving complex issues with many moving parts, whether they deserve that credit or not. But how much impact can a sitting president really have on the tides? We all know that presidents like to take credit for the undulations of the briny deep, when it suits them, that is, and we Americans are quick to blame whoever is in power for the multitudinous seas. During Eisenhower's administration in the 1950s, citizens took to the streets to protest his inability to harness the unruly waves, but Ike shifted blame for the tides that year onto a heron that had recently been born with a raven's head. But the truth is, when a president is in office, there's only so much he can do. Sure, the president can bring an amulet with the Eye of Horus to the top of the tallest peak, or spread lamb's blood on the base of an elm tree during a lunar eclipse. In reality, it's hard for anyone to know with true certainty how the tides will play out under any administration. For The Onion, I'm Eliza Hayes.
This is the Onion News Network.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's free as in freedom. That's our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. That's how you can get on the air and talk about whatever you like. That's the great thing about this radio program. I say that to you as a guy who used to listen to this radio program.
That's true.
I did. And then I came up here to New Hampshire, and suddenly I meet everybody who was on that radio program. And then
pretty soon you are on the radio program.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but all of a sudden I'm on the radio. But it's not a novel concept. It used to be done all the time. Places would have a radio show would have open phone lines, just whatever you want to talk about. Well, that's kind of gone. You listen to a lot of big talk shows. They want you to talk about what they're interested in. That's it.
Even if they don't say that, that's the case. If you don't call on topic and you sound like either you're too smart and you disagree, or you agree and you're not smart enough, whatever it is, you're not going to get on.
Right.
And that's, they curate their calls very thoroughly in many shows. And Free Talk Live, we make it so that you can call in about what you want to talk about. And that is almost unheard of on the radio these days.
It is.
So I want to tell you about My Magic Mud, because that's what I want to talk about right now. My Magic Mud is a black tooth powder made of charcoalized coconut shells and bentonite clay. And that may sound strange to you. Why would I want to put that in my mouth? Well, all I can say in response to that is read the back of your toothpaste tube and ask yourself, why would you want to put that stuff, whatever it says there, in your mouth? And at that point, some charcoalized coconut shells and bentonite clay don't sound so bad. By the way, if you know anything about bentonite clay, they feed it to livestock for the purposes of keeping them healthy, so not bad stuff. My Magic Mud is clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I'm convinced, I've used this product for more than half a decade, and I've never been without it since I started using it, because I think it's so awesome. I'm 100% convinced that it cleans my teeth better than toothpaste does. Now, I don't use it every day. You use it about once every 4 to 7 days. For the first 4 days, you use it every day. But after that, about once a week, maybe a little more. And yeah, your teeth will be as white as they're supposed to be. You can find this in most major health food stores, Sprouts, CVS, Natural Grocers, and Walmart's Natural Beauty aisle. But right now, through July the 15th, you can go to Amazon for Amazon Prime Days and get it at 50% off. It's a really great deal, and this really is a great deal. Go to Amazon.com, look up My Magic Mud, get 50% off, and what they're asking you for that other 50% that you're getting off, reviews. They'd like to get some more reviews on Amazon. So Amazon Prime Days at Amazon.com, My Magic Mud.
Nice. Thank you, Mark. We're going to go to Virginia Beach. Not really. I wish I could go to Virginia Beach, but we're going to go talk to Jim in Virginia Beach. Jim, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Well, I concur, and everything you guys say, I agree with.
Okay.
Stick around, then. We'll come up with something to disagree with you on.
Sooner or later, yeah.
Yeah. To joke about how some radio stations are.
Oh, I get it. It's a good joke. That's what I was thinking. This sounds like a call to a regular radio show.
Right.
No, yeah, this is the guy that he found himself with a Dunkin' Donuts man cut out before as well. And I don't want to see the Punisher symbol coming after me if I should happen to take a cardboard cutout from Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, here on Free Talk Live, we do not endorse cardboard cutout theft. However, it is funny.
You will see the Punisher sign like in a few movies where the military uses them, and I
Very
get
much
that.
so. Yep.
To me, the skull is a sign of death, and I don't want my police department associated with the sign of death.
Right.
Now, I understand sometimes it happens, sometimes it's needed, and sometimes it's not. But regardless, I don't think you come at somebody with
that shouldn't be the default.
Death,
that's not the starting point.
Yeah, exactly. License and registration, and if you do the not right thing, I'll kill you. It's just not the right. I don't know.
It is. It is the wrong message, I think, and especially when you're looking at places like, St. Louis. St. Louis, which not too far from Ferguson. I mean, this is an area that should be doing a better job of portraying, and not just portraying. They should be doing a better job of delivering a friendlier, if you will, a friendlier police experience to their people. That police, I mean, it doesn't have to be busting heads. It can be community policing. It can be doing good for the community and finding ways to do it, not finding ways just to raise income.
Now, and I would like to put this out. I think being a police officer is a very noble job. I do understand how you want to go home to your family and you don't ever know what you're coming up to. I have a lot of respect for those guys that do that. And I would say the majority of them probably do it very well. You still just don't want to start off on that foot.
Right.
Yeah, I just think it's at the very least a distasteful symbol to be using for police. And now when you say that it's being used for the military, Punisher was a military guy, and but I mean, many police officers often come from the military. You know, it's police unions are recruiting from departments are recruiting from military roles in order to bring them in. So I think that might be one of the reasons that it is associated.
Yeah, and I understand that, but like if I leave one job and go to another, I can't bring the skills from, let's say, throwing pizza dough up in the air to make it round and going over to, let's say, I don't know, sweeping parking lots and just, throwing the trash up in the air. The two things, they don't go together.
I'm going to say this, and this comes from, I've talked to a lot of people in law enforcement from a hiring point of view because I was a selectman in a town, and that's sort of like a city councilman, and had some of these kind of not sort of off the books kind of conversations about how their hiring is going. And despite what everybody seems to think is not by default is everyone who was ever in the military by default going to be a excellent police officer. They actually say the people that I have talked to is the majority are not cut out for them. Who are cut out for it? Military policemen.
Yeah, that would be my question is what about MPs?
Right.
I would think that these guys are probably, a direction that people would look. I mean, they've basically gotten the training, at least some initial training, and received very low pay to do it. So, why not give them the pay increase and then send them on?
Right, but strapping on a M4 and, busting down doors doesn't have much to do with everyday police work. It shouldn't.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Because, military police are policing, well, to some extent, people who are at war, and we're hopefully not doing that here in the United States.
Sure.
I think there's probably some zip codes that it feels like they are, though.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Hey, any last words?
Just great show. Love listening to you guys, and keep up the great work.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jim. We're going to stay on the phones where we've got Tom calling in from New Hampshire. Tom, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
It's about the ICE raids that are planned for tomorrow. And the American Civil Liberties Union is reminding a lot of these people about their constitutional rights and how, if they don't have a warrant signed by a judge. See, there's a big difference between the warrant signed by a judge and the administrative order signed by a different kind of bureaucrat. They don't have to open the door. They don't have to let them in or anything. They cannot legally force their way into the house without a warrant signed by a judge.
Now, real quick, can you recap for me which raids we're talking about? There's so many of them. Actually,
raids,
we're going to...
Immigration and Customs Enforcement raids scheduled for tomorrow to take people with deportation orders.
Gotcha. I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to bring you back, and I want to hear more about this because, hey, I haven't really stayed up on immigration lately, so you and Mark can educate me. 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number. This is Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Hi, this is Sophie Winnick, longtime distributor and user of Youngevity products. In the last few years, my family went through a crisis. Everything else in my life, including my business, had to be put on the back burner. Thankfully, life is getting back to normal now. But the one thing I never had to worry about was my business and my monthly commission. I've been a distributor for Youngevity for over 17 years, since before it was Youngevity. And I've got to say, the most amazing thing about this company is the people. While my family was in crisis, other distributors stepped in and helped my customers, simply because that's what Youngevity people do, even for people they don't know. For me, it has never been about getting rich. It was about a product I could stand behind, a company I could count on, and a monthly commission check that has never, not once, been late in 17 years. Youngevity is truly a business for everyone, even people who have too much to do. I'm Sophie Winnick. I'm just like you. I have a real life, real ups and downs, but I know I will always have Youngevity.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees!
What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855 450 free. That's free as in freedom, 855-450-3733. We are in our first hour of our regularly scheduled 3 hours that we do every night. It may not be on in your town, but we're on somewhere every single night.
If it's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern time,
we're doing it.
We're doing. There's a Free Talk Live on the air on, well, I don't know how many radio stations because there's no way to tell you. It depends on the hour and the day and all those things. But up to 205 radio stations or something is our number today.
That's nice.
Yep. And I want to thank amplifiers right now, as we do here on Free Talk Live. If you support Free Talk Live, you should go to amp.freetalklive.com, as Tony M has. Tony M is a platinum amplifier, which means that he has gone above and beyond. All we ask is for $5 a month, and we'd give you all the things that the other radio programs out there give you for amplifying Free Talk Live, but we already give those to you for free. So why would you support Free Talk Live? Well, you believe in the idea of people being able to call in and talk about whatever they want. You think that's important. Or you believe in the ideas of liberty and freedom and realize that Free Talk Live is the only place in America, the only show in America that's really addressing these issues, pro-freedom, every issue, every time. So it's amp.freetalklive.com. Thank you, Tony M. amp.freetalklive.com.
Thanks, Tony. We're going to go back to the phones where we've been talking to Tom in New Hampshire. He wants to discuss the upcoming ice capades. I'm going to call him that.
That's funny.
Tom, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. It's about how the American Civil Liberties Union and other people are reminding the targeted persons about certain constitutional provisions intended to, help protect them to some degree.
Okay.
And one thing noticeably missing, which I think they should add to that, is if the goons are going to force their way into your house, don't forget this other constitutional provision, that the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms was not written for the benefit of duck hunters. It was written by men who had to fight back against law enforcement and for the benefit of future generations when they would have to defend against law enforcement.
Hey, Tom, thanks for the call. Now it's
well, I'd rather be honest, the winning end of a civil suit than the losing end of a criminal suit. I'll say that.
True. And I notice sometimes you will take issue with that.
It's true that he is correct that the Second Amendment was written by people who shot their government center of mass.
Yes.
Now, they weren't law enforcement. They were effectively law enforcement at the time. There weren't police officers, and I don't know of any sheriffs that were tarred and feathered during the Revolutionary War. Perhaps. I don't know.
Who knows?
I mean, somebody will probably email me a story at mark@freetalklive.com about a sheriff in Philadelphia that was in fact tarred and feathered. And I will not be surprised by that, but I don't know how many were shot.
If you do have a picture of a Philadelphia sheriff tarred and feathered, even if it's from yesterday, I would like to see that too.
There's not a real photograph of anything that happened during the Revolutionary War. I can tell you that much.
What was that?
Somebody drew something though. I'm sure of that. So this story where the St. Louis Police Department intends to, the police union is asking for solidarity among its officers by having them post the Punisher skull on social media. The police union is asking for this. The police chief, on the other hand, is saying that Punishers should not be a symbol of solidarity amongst people that support the police.
Doesn't send the right message to the community.
Right, and which message do you want to send? I mean, I understand why the police union is all about supporting the police, but the police should be all about supporting the individuals in their community. And when they're not, that says something about the structure of policing and accountability and policing in America.
And how do you effectively police if you are taking the us versus them position?
I think it's pretty commonplace, though. I remember the Denver Police Union put together a T-shirt that's when I think it was the 2012 Democratic committee came to town to nominate. The nomination process came to town. It was the police. It says, "We get up early in the morning to beat the crowds," and it had a menacing-looking guy with a billy club in his hand.
Right.
So it was using the pun or whatever. But what I think is that if you have police departments coming up with these ideas, it doesn't say that police are bad people. What it says is incentives are way screwed up.
Exactly.
In the way that we put together police departments. Police should be falling all over themselves to serve the public. What is their job? It's to serve and protect, right? And presumably it's to serve and protect the public, or at least that's what we would be led to believe.
Right.
I think, in fact, what it is to serve and protect the politicians, and I can see why the police end up being in an adversarial relationship with them.
I do too. We're going to go to the phones where we've got Brian. Brian's calling in from PA. He wants to talk about law enforcement. Brian, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello, thanks for taking my call. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not bad. I just wanted to clarify that the former MP, we got extensive training in law enforcement, all aspects of law enforcement. We just didn't bust down doors, and we weren't strapped with an M4. I mean, when we were on post and we were back stateside, we did domestic disputes. We did
everything on base.
We ran radar.
Yeah.
We did everything that a regular local law enforcement would do.
Did you get paid what regular law enforcement would get paid?
No, I got paid whatever the going rate for my rank and years of service were.
So less?
I would say yes, less.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my assessment was. Yeah, sure. We were talking specifically about being over in the war theater, but yeah, I would agree with you that MPs are given, all the training that police officers are, and probably paid a little less, and that's why police departments are probably looking for them, because they have to do less training, and they'll be happy to get any upgrade in pay.
And with military police, are there differences in MOSs? Like, could you be an investigator? Is that a specialty, or I'm just kind of sure.
That way, yeah, you could be an investigator. It was a criminal investigation division, and then you had the 95 Charlies, which were corrections. So you had 95 Bravos, 95 Charlies, and then I can't remember what was it 92 Alpha maybe for the CID for criminal investigation.
Right.
Yeah, we had different divisions through there.
Right. But by default, would you say that anyone who has served in Iran or excuse me, Iran? I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, don't. I hope not. There's not too many that have served there.
Yeah. Somebody who's by default served in any role in a war-torn country is automatically qualified to be a average police officer. Would you say that it does require?
No. I think they still need to go through their local academy and get their local training. But they would have a leg up on probably somebody that hasn't had any exposure to that at all.
In which way? I'm kind of curious about that because I've thought about this. I mean, what would make what would make a soldier? Say you were a tank gunner.
I think it sounded like you were asking about MPs.
You're talking about. Are you talking about any combat veteran versus a combat MP?
No, I very much understand where MPs come from. I'm wondering from a law enforcement point of view, what makes someone who just has any experience in the military better than the average guy off the street. I would rather they be looking for military policemen. I would rather they find people that.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah, people that have some background. Maybe they got a degree in criminal justice. Something. But I.
Oh no, I agree. I don't think anybody that's even somebody that had experience just refueling trucks or something like that. No, just because they're military doesn't make them. I mean, they have weapons experience, but I think they still need to go through their regular training.
I would agree with that too, and I would hope that they would.
Chris, would you say that your training in the military would have given you any leg up in?
Hell no.
Okay, so nothing.
I worked on radios. No.
They use radios in police departments.
They do. Yeah, I could be Farva. There we go. That's my training. Can we bring you back? Do you have more to say?
Actually, I got to go right now, but I would say that I wouldn't have had. I would have a little bit of a leg up, but not much, because of what experience I've had. I think I would have went through the academy maybe a little better.
Gotcha.
But
thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Thanks for your call. I appreciate the call. 855-450-FREE.
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS Paris.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,405, silver at $15.12, and Bitcoin is trading at $11,700. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, investigative journalist Vicky Ward dropped a bombshell on Tuesday in an article for the Daily Beast, where she reported that U.S. Secretary of Labor Alexander Acosta reportedly stated that ill-famed Jeffrey Epstein belonged to intelligence. The Mind Unleashed reports that Acosta reportedly made the statement during his interviews with the Trump transition team, while being vetted for his current position of Labor Secretary. As the former U.S. Attorney in Miami, Acosta infamously cut Epstein a non-prosecution plea deal in 2007 for charges related to the sexual exploitation of underage girls. After being asked if the Epstein case would cause a problem in his confirmation hearings, Acosta reportedly responded that he only ever had one meeting about the case and had been told to back off, and that Epstein was above his pay grade. Quote, "I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone," end quote, Acosta told his interviewers. The Department of Labor had no comment when asked about it, according to the Daily Beast. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A Phoenix, Arizona man who was shot in his genitals by Phoenix police during a 2017 anti-Trump rally has decided to sue. Following a recent national investigation into the social media accounts of police officers, Scottsdale resident Josh Coben discovered that not only were his genitals targeted by police pepper balls, but he was the hapless brunt of police jokes as well. President Donald Trump visited Phoenix on August 22, 2017. A subsequent rally decrying his presence in the city took place on the streets of downtown Phoenix. Instead of peacefully protecting the protesters' constitutional rights to assemble and protest, Phoenix police fired tear gas and projectiles, such as the pepper ball which struck Coben. The young man was struck in his private parts after he decided to kick a canister of tear gas back in the direction of the police. Thousands of alien enthusiasts appear to be planning to storm the infamous Area 51 in Nevada in a desperate attempt to gain entrance into the conspiracy theorist mecca. The Mind Unleashed reports that a Facebook event named Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us, was started to announce the plan, which is scheduled to take place at 3 o'clock in the morning of September 20th, 2019. At the time of this publication, 316,000 Facebook users had RSVP'd to the event, and another 340,000 confirmed they are interested in attending. At the time of publication, over 15,000 posts had been made in the group, with memes, plans on how to hatch the raid, and even merchandise created for the event populating the page. Clearly, the page is meant to be a joke, but with so many saying they want to attend, the creator of the page made sure to clear himself of responsibility if there are some willing to storm the highly secure military base. The United States Air Force facility, commonly known as Area 51, is a highly classified remote detachment of Edwards Air Force Base within the Nevada Test and Training Range. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
As a police officer, I constantly live in fear that I might be filmed brutalizing a civilian. It's something you know from the time you're a cadet. The slightest civil rights infraction in front of anyone who's looking, and the next thing you know, you're surrounded by cameras and trending on Twitter. No cop should have to worry about that. Practically every precinct I know has somebody serving desk duty just for acting on deeply rooted prejudices when somebody had a recording device on them. It happened to my partner, and it even happened to our own captain. One day he's just kicking an unarmed pedestrian in the ribs when all of a sudden people with cameras are everywhere, and then they just start shooting what he was doing, all 6 minutes of it. I can't help but think sometimes that could have been me ending up at that desk job. You never know which day of total impunity will be your last, but for a cop, that's just our daily reality.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. Our second hour of the evening. We do 3 hours every day of the year, and we love to talk to you. By we, I mean myself, Chris.
And me, Mark.
And we're going to talk about what you like. We've been talking about this Punisher story where the police union is recommending that their officers, this is the, which one is this? Oklahoma City, portray the Punisher logo to show solidarity that they're all together against anybody who, quote, hates law enforcement. And I think they might be kind of missing what this is all about.
Yeah, we've had callers call in and say they hate law enforcement. I think a lot of people, what they're trying to say is that they want more responsive customer service. And that's a bit of a euphemism. I think that's what they're looking for. You know, I mean, I think in some neighborhoods they're saying we're tired of police shooting our children, and that's certainly not all neighborhoods. But I think there has been an increase in the number of police shootings. You know, well, I don't know if there's been an increase. I think that we can say that the United States has more police shootings than pretty much any industrialized nation out there, and that and that there's people in certain communities that are like, hey, why us? Yeah, I don't know that all the numbers back up every claim that's out there by any stretch, but at the same time, what I tend to believe is that when you have low amounts of accountability and working for the government kind of means you never have to say you're sorry, right? Right. So you have lower levels of accountability, you're going to have lower levels of customer service, and customer service in this case, it can mean a variety of things up to and including feeling like there's justice in a police involved shooting. Absolutely. And I don't know. Yeah. Like, I can't tell you in any individual case. I think that there's good arguments in certain cases, but sometimes, officers, I'm pretty sure sometimes officers pull too soon. That one guy up in Minnesota, his name's now escaping me. The guy worked at the lunch line and was a concealed carry permit holder, and the officer pulled on him and shot him after asking him to get his license out. Yeah. And that's a tough one. Yeah. And I guess what I feel is because these are more seen, there are cell phones. Everybody carries one. Because we're seeing more of these, it probably gives the feeling that it's just more of those occurring. The concern is really that any of them occur. I don't expect law enforcement to be perfect in writing tickets, but I expect them to be damn close to right before they take someone's life. I'm going to say that I have an expectation of law enforcement to be really, really accurate when it comes to taking somebody's pulse away. Philando Castile was the gentleman that this occurred with. We're going to go to the phones where we've got Steve calling in from Virginia. Steve, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Yes. The police officers got to put up with some very dangerous people.
Oh, yeah. They do.
You're 13 times more likely to get robbed by a black than you are a white.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Also,
hold on.
3% of the population kills 50% of the people. Now, I know you don't like to hear that. But
Well,
that's how it is.
no. Some of these things are just absolute truth. Some things are.
No, they
Some
are the truth. I
things
done looked them up.
are
I done
subjective.
looked these up.
You didn't.
3% of the population kill half the people in the United States.
All right.
Black ages 18 to 42.
Well, how do you think we should solve this problem?
3%.
Right. What's the solution?
3% of the population.
Hold, you're just going to repeat
We got a
it?
very violent-
You
Hold on.
repeating it.
Can you give me a solution to the
Cops got
problem?
The hardest job in the world.
What's that?
The cops has the hardest job in the
Well,
world.
no.
They gotta put
To
up
be
with the-
fair, we're
with
here
the
in New
racism.
Hampshire, and we have a lot of
I
lumberjacks.
I
Being
wanna
a
give you a
lumberjack
story.
is a much more dangerous job than being a police officer.
No, you're crazy.
Yeah,
I want to
right.
just say
So,
everything.
well, look
I
it
just
up.
got in a car
Look
wreck
it up.
Too long
Okay.
ago. Hey, I
So-
want to tell you a story.
You're going to tell me a
just
story.
got into
All
a
right.
car wreck
Before
just
you tell me the story,
Hello?
I want to make sure that this is clear. They have looked it up and seen what the most dangerous jobs in America are, and they're like fishermen and lumberjack and roofers and taxi drivers and truck drivers and things like that. Police have made it into the top 10 list some years, and there are other years that they haven't. Please go ahead.
Well, I tell you the truth, my friend.
Yeah, well,
I'd rather be any of them ever jobs than a cop.
same here. Go ahead. What's your
I
story?
want to just tell you a story now.
Okay.
Here's one I can give you firsthand experience. I was in a car accident.
Okay.
I was sliding out to get out of the way. A person was texting or something, not paying attention.
Happens a lot.
Sideswiped my car. They stopped down the street a little ways further.
Okay.
I got out of my car and I said, well, I'm getting ready to call the cops. She said it was your fault. Now, this is a black lady. She said it's your
what does
fault.
that
You
have
can
to do
call
with
the
it?
cop. He's racist just like you. We had the skid marks right there to show who was in the which lane.
Well, okay.
She was still
So now I'm
desperately trying to
racist.
tell me
As
that
a
I was
firefighter, I'm going to tell you that lots of people of lots of different colors participate in distracted driving. Can you tell me what we should do about this claim of yours that that black people commit most of the crime or something that you were saying?
Oh yeah, now go check Africa out.
What's that?
We still have. I said just go check Africa out. They
What about
just
it?
killed 1 million people in one of those countries over there a year ago.
I'm trying to determine whether you're
I wanna
talking about
tell you
sending
another
black
thing.
people back to Africa.
Yeah, what's your
Back
solution?
isn't the right term. Sending
No,
black
I ain't
Americans
talking
to
about sending black
Africa.
people
Do
back
you
to
have a
Africa.
final
I'm saying
solution?
Check their own country out. They're very violent.
This is
over
their
there,
country.
too. What was that, sir?
The United States of America belongs to people of all different colors.
Yeah.
I don't mind that as long as you know how to act. I don't mind it a bit.
Well,
Come on.
so what's the solution
But when you
here?
Start going
As
overboard.
long as
when you
everybody
start
acts
committing
in a way that you
triple
approve.
and double and 10 times more crime you should be committing, then you're wrong.
So let me answer. So really, it would be simpler if there were no constitution, if they just followed how to act as defined by you. Then we don't have to worry about.
I'm not giving the instructions on how to act. God gives you the instructions how to act.
Okay, and will you
God says, "Thou
acknowledge
shalt not kill."
he did?
I didn't say it.
At least Moses did.
I listened to what he said.
All right.
Hey, Steve, thanks for the call. 855-450
generous.
free. Yeah, well, it was he. I give him credit because he hung in there, and every time you looked like we were trying to get rid of him, he came back and
I don't
threw
think
out more vitriol.
black people are any more delighted by crime than white people are. Right? Like,
Specific. I can name a number of programs that have probably contributed.
so here's how I feel when presented with what was the gentleman's name?
Steve.
What he says. So oftentimes I will hear feminists on the internet complain about men and their behavior towards women. So that men are far more, commit far more of the violence against women than women do against men, and like these comparisons that are set up in this way to elucidate how bad men are. And I'm a man. Turns out I self-identify as a male, and I'm pretty sure my chromosomal makeup is X and Y. So When somebody says that to me, I think to myself, what the hell am I supposed to do about man-on-woman crime? If the problem, and the lady that was talking on NPR last week or whatever that I was listening to, what she was complaining about was crime going on specifically inside of relationships. Sounds to me like you need to pick your partner a little better, lady.
Absolutely.
If he's smacking you around, what does that have to do with me?
And
so
also,
don't blame me for my gender, and don't blame me for my color.
And don't blame me for the unintended results of government programs like busing and things like that. 855-450-FREE. What do you think? Was that guy just off his rocker? Does he have a point? I want to hear from you. 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Are you concerned that the values that made America great are no longer taught in schools? Well, I am, so I got my son the Tuttle Twins children's book series.
My name is Jack, and I'm 11, and I just finished the Tuttle Twins series. It taught me about liberty, free market economics, and entrepreneurship.
Give all the young people in your life a chance at reason and clear thought, because they're not going to get it at school. There are 9 books in the series, and each one teaches a set of ideas that children aren't getting elsewhere. Go to TuttleTwins.com and use coupon code FTL to get 40% off. That's TuttleTwins.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Are you dealing with overwhelming credit card debt? Then it's time to get rid of it with a mortgage refinance from American Financing. You'll work with a salary-based mortgage consultant, so there's no pressure and no commission. No upfront fees either. I recommend American Financing because they continue to help customers save $1,000 or more each month without resetting their loan term. You may even be able to postpone up to 2 months of mortgage payments, creating an even greater upfront savings. Not a homeowner yet? Mortgage rates have been falling for the last few months, making it a great time to buy. Get started now by calling 888-804-0303. That's 888-804-0303. Or try their new digital mortgage at AmericanFinancing.net. You can download an instant pre-qualified letter, and you can complete the entire mortgage process online anytime, anywhere. 888-804-0303 or AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, lionsofliberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you the Morning Roar! That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of the Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest-running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, you know, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com. Advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free speech is protected on the internet, right? Not always. Government agencies try to limit free speech and commerce on the net. Luckily, when they do, the Institute for Justice is there to defend your First Amendment right to free speech. IJ helped set the first federal precedent for internet free speech in 1999, and ever since has worked to prevent unconstitutional roadblocks in cyberspace. Visit our website today at ij.org.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's free as in freedom, free as in there's no such thing as a free lunch. 855-450-3733. We want to hear from you. And by we, I do mean myself, Chris.
Yeah, and me, Mark. And I do want to hear from you. But I also want to tell you about Freedom Fest. We're going to the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world next week. And the theme is the Wild West. Was it a time of liberty and opportunity or lawlessness and violence? Well, there's all kinds of big names that'll be there to tell us more. So Penn Jillette, John Mackey, Candace Owens, Stephen Moore, Grover Norquist, John Stossel, Justin Amash, Glenn Beck, Herman Cain, Senator Mike Lee, Kevin Sorbo, Thomas Massey. I mean, there's a lot of names. It's July the 17th through the 20th, like I said, next week at the Paris in downtown Vegas. That's actually, the Strip is its own municipality called Paradise, but I don't know that everybody knows that. So call it downtown Vegas, or on the Strip in Vegas, the Paradise, and you can get your tickets right now at freedomfest.com/FTL. If you go to freedomfest.com/FTL, you can see the 5 best speeches from last year, just to make sure that it's the kind of crowd you want to hang out with, and you can use coupon code FTL50 to save $50 off your ticket.
Nice.
freedomfest.com/FTL for Freedom Fest, July the 17th through the 20th at the Paris in Vegas.
And this is a big deal. This is not a couple guys in a tent. This is
the largest,
biggest names in the Liberty movement, and I think it's going to be something to look forward to. I looked at here's some of the they usually record it a little bit later, maybe for promos for next year, and so I'm like a year behind on my Freedom Fest, but I'm slowly catching up. We've been talking about this story about the St. Louis Police Union, who's asking police to portray to use the Punisher logo on their social media to show their solidarity and
with their suspended police officers who are suspended for not particularly service-oriented posts on social media.
And this gets into that a little bit. This story continues. The Plainview Project, a database published at the beginning of June, unearthed scads of racist and anti-Muslim social media posts from police officers in the city being Oklahoma City. And they found lots of examples of, like they said, anti-Muslim and racist social media posts.
I think it's a natural thing to do for people to group people. Like the last caller called in, wanted to group people based on race.
Yep.
The problem with grouping people is that you're going to be in a group, and do you want to be in that group? So I just looked up the information on. It says here males accounted for. This is from the Uniform Crime Reporting Program from the FBI. Males accounted for 80.1%. So 80% of persons arrested for violent crimes. If you separate crime by race, then be prepared for somebody to separate crime by gender or sex. I'm not sure. I don't even know anymore.
I don't either.
But I know where they'd throw me, and that's into the male category. And this is a pretty violent gender in comparison to the other one. So is that where you want to be?
Yeah.
That's why I say let's not separate separate folks into groups, because groups don't commit crimes. Individuals commit crimes.
No, but if you're going to break things down to try to that's the thing. Sometimes people break things down to demonstrate how right they are about a particular group. But in some ways, that's just how you try to drill down into something. It sounds like that's what the Plainview Project is doing. It looked at tons of social media posts, and it got a lot of people to look at them and say, which one of these buckets would you categorize it with?
Right. I wouldn't say that. I guess what's happening here is prosecutors are saying, in certain municipalities, are saying that they're not going to accept police work done by certain police officers, right?
Yes.
So I wouldn't say that prosecutors should say, we will accept no police work done by police officers. However, if it can be demonstrated the particular police officer clearly doesn't have the psychology of somebody who's going to be service-oriented to their community, then, well, that's fine to go ahead and individualize going after the individual. That's an individual who has done an act, and whatever the reaction to that act is should be appropriate.
Right, and it's important to remember they just unearthed, they put the database together, and then either police departments or chief prosecutors, they decided what to do with it. And in some cases, like this one we're discussing, they have taken the information from this Plainview project and they're still investigating. So who knows? What was interesting was that number of 22 cops added to the list of officers that will not be able to present their cases to the chief prosecutor. Well, that's after 46 or 56 were already added to that list. So it seems to be a big number. I
remember during the O.J. Simpson trial, there was a lot of this too, and then Rodney King, they were bringing to light some racist stuff that some cops said.
Mark Furman,
and obviously the statements that stick out, right?
Yep.
But and I don't think that any officers should be besmirched in any way. But what I wonder is that there's lots of black police officers. Are you working in a department with a black police officer and then getting on the radio and saying it looks like gorillas in the mist out here? I mean, you've got a pair of them if that's what you're doing.
Right.
And I mean, frankly, it's disgusting.
The department made a political decision to open an investigation after the complaint that the symbol was offensive.
This is the Punisher symbol that we're referring to here.
Yep, vigilantism, unquote.
The Punisher is a vigilante.
Clark, the officer, let me see who is.
As a matter of fact, the DC, that's Detective Comics, the DC competitor to Marvel Comics, this is Punisher, is a guy called the Vigilante. So basically, these organizations, these comic companies, they always often come up with some competing character on one side or the other. And in this case, the Vigilante was created after the Punisher because the Punisher was doing well. So let's create the Vigilante.
The vengeful Punisher character operates outside the law, Hayden noted in his department memo, that the publisher's creator, Jerry Conway, has said the character represents the failure of the criminal justice system. Quote, whether you think Punisher is justified or not, whether you admire his code of ethics, he's an outlaw, unquote.
Yes, he is a criminal.
Conway
said.
Conway tells Sci-Fi Wire in an interview published in January, police should not be embracing a criminal as their symbol.
I would agree.
Yeah, I would too. And
also, comic books and movies, these things are fun because you know who the good guy is, you know who the bad guy is, and you know who committed the crimes and all these sorts of things. In real life, if you're just going out there shooting who you thought the bad guy was, you're going to be wrong relatively quickly. The United States death penalty, the penalties of the several states have been applied in many cases against innocent people.
Check out the Innocence Project for more information. 855-450-FREE.
That's 855-450-3733 here on Free Talk Live.
What is it costing you in vet bills for that convenience of just pulling open a bag of
formulated, extruded, processed cereal bits that cost a ton of money anyways?
How do you feed your dog to derive not only energy, but a good coat, bright eyes, and a great attitude?
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
I found his raw meat diet on Dinovite.com with just the raw meat and the eggs and the Dinovite and the Super Omega on top of it.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
Ground beef, white rice, eggs, including the shells, and the Dinovite supplement, and then the Lico Chops.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
It just balances out his body and his mind and his spirit.
Adding Dinovite to their diet has every single dog in my kennel looking better than they have ever looked.
Their skin is so much better now that they're on the raw diet. I don't even give them the kibble anymore.
DINOVITE.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. Free is in freedom. That's our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. That's how you call us up. This is an open phones show. You can set the topic, or we'll talk about stuff that we find interesting. We hope you will find it interesting, too. The We in studio is myself, Chris.
And me, Mark.
And missing tonight is certainly part of my brain.
Oh, yeah. Well, we should mention who Ian being away, and I suppose part of your brain, too.
Yes.
But, yeah, our normal Saturday night co-host, Ian Freeman, is away at the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance's, I think it's called the Freedom Dinner or something like that.
Something
but
like that.
Once a year they have this event and they have speakers, and it's a little bit of a fundraiser and a thank you to people who are part of the Liberty Alliance. And the Liberty Alliance is an organization which I think is very important because they do, unlike any other state in the union, they go through through the bills here introduced in New Hampshire, and they rate them from a liberty standpoint. So they determine not whether the Republicans or the Democrats think it's a good idea to pass it, but people who care about the ideas of personal freedom, whether they think this should be passed or scuttled. And in most cases, the answer is scuttled.
Sure. But if you happen to be out there in any of 49 other states and you've been thinking about, there should be something that I could do, this is one of those things that wouldn't be too horribly complex to organize. It's always tough to get people to do it, but tracking legislation and seeing where it's at and see who's voting on what. It's important stuff.
I'd say it's something to target. I wouldn't call it easy. It's simple, but
Yes.
it's not easy.
That's exactly.
Because you need enough people to review all the bills that the liars and thieves in your particular capital are putting together, and then they've got to rate them. You've got to have people trained on how to rating them. It's complex. But I'd like to tell you how you can find businesses in your general vicinity,
like my business.
Yeah, that like the ideas of liberty. So if you're a libertarian, you believe in the non-aggression principle, and that means that that you don't believe that aggression should be used, that you should not initiate violence against other people, whether it's personally or through the government, then Liberty.menu is for you. It's a tool for our community, and at its core, it's a directory for events, businesses, and digital content. Listings can be rated and reviewed, and there's a lot of social networking that you can do on it to connect with others. So go to Liberty.menu and check it out. See the businesses that are in your area or list your business. Liberty.menu. It's free, by the way. You can free to get an account, free to list a business. Liberty.menu.
And I spend a couple bucks with them. I spend a couple bucks every month just to get a little bit bigger ad, get my store in front of a few more eyes, and I'm happy with it.
Can't hurt.
It's good results. But Mark, can you hear that?
I don't hear anything.
It's a very high-pitched sound that is designed for you not to be able to hear.
Okay.
And they're playing it, I guess, around Philadelphia. Can you hear it? No, it's a sonic device that plays high-pitched noises to repel teens. What parent thought of this? The idea is basically this: at certain frequencies, developing ears can still hear some noises that grown-ups can't. So, anywhere you don't want kids around, just get your city to put up a few of these devices and solve the problem.
It's amazing.
A sonic device is seen at top right at Barrett Playground in Philadelphia. 30 parks.
At a playground?
At a playground. These parks in the city have the devices which emit a constant high-pitched noise that only teenagers and young adults can hear.
So when you say young adults, do you mean children?
Well, I think it depends on how their ears have developed, because evidently that's how this thing discriminates.
I'm confused. So are we saying that teenagers can hear, this is people between the ages of 13 and 19, can hear noises that people below the ages of 13 and above the ages of 19 cannot hear? Is that the claim?
With some numbers, yeah. But I would say that...
Because it's talking about developing here. That sounds to me like people under the age of X, say 19 or 17 or whatever, can hear the noise, and then people above can't. And if you're putting a device at a playground that drives off people under the age of, say, 16, then what's the purpose of the playground?
That's a good point. In Philadelphia, 30 parks and recreation centers are outfitted with a small speaker called, quote, and you'll love this, Mark, the Mosquito. Isn't that cute? Right.
Yeah,
it blares a constant high-pitched ringing noise all night long. And
I see. So they turn it on at a certain time in order to keep people out of the park.
But only that only that teenagers and young adults can hear. Anyone over the age of 25 is supposed to be immune, because basically their ear cells have started to die off.
So we have what we're trying to do is keep the older criminals in the park. Is that the idea?
Evidently,
okay.
Yes. We only want a specific range of criminal activity to work. That's pretty amazing.
I'm not sure that I think that this is a terrible idea.
I can understand that. Philadelphia park officials have been installing the devices since
I think the problem is
2014,
you said, sorry.
Yeah.
I think the problem is the government's own parks.
There's an idea.
If this was a private park, and there are lots of them across the United States, this isn't some radical notion by any stretch of the imagination. If this was a private park administered by, say, the Organization for the Betterment of Philadelphia's southwestern side, or whatever the hell it would be, right? Then they put up a device that, I don't know, makes it so people under the age of 25 don't want to be in the park from when it's turned on at, say, 9 p.m. to when it's turned off at, say, 9 a.m. or whatever the situation is, I don't know, then I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. So it's not the device that I have a problem with. It's the ownership of the park that I have a problem with, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. We're going to go to the phones where we've got Mason calling in from Lynchburg. Mason, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hey. Listen, I want to ask you guys a question about the political situation nowadays between the Democrats and the Republicans. What makes the Democrats think that they've got any real good competition or anything against Donald Trump right now? What makes them think they're going to win 2020?
You'd have to ask one of them.
Yeah, I think I tend to just basically agree with you that more or less they need to come up with new ideas for their campaigns, and the newest ideas that they can come up with are sort of like the universal basic income and paying off college debt, and sort of the same things that Bernie had in the last go around.
Written large.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't call it socialism, but Bernie Sanders does.
Right.
So
I'm using his words.
I don't have a problem using that terminology.
I mean, if one of them would just not raise their hand when everybody raises their hand, he would have a better chance of winning the primary and maybe perhaps the presidential candidacy. If one Democrat was more moderate, was more in the middle ground, that's all it would take for him to be able to pull off the primary minimally.
Don't you think that Joe Biden is more that middle ground kind of candidate?
Joe Biden got the whole... wait. Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Here's the thing with Joe Biden, man, and everybody knows good old Uncle Joe. His reputation has marred him. He's been caught saying things too many times, and that could be used against him. His son got caught in Ukraine. I mean, there's a lot of weird things going on with Joe Biden. I really am rooting for Joe Biden because I feel bad for the rest of them. But Joe Biden is the one that could probably lose by 30-70 to Donald Trump. He'd at least get 30%.
So
I'm talking about a major victory for Trump here, guys. Unless they come up with something better than Joe Biden.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So Schultz, he was the CEO of, was that Starbucks? Yes, Starbucks. He's been making noises of running as a Democrat.
Is this the guy who just jumped in recently?
I don't know if he has jumped in. I've got to put you on hold. We'll come back to you. 855-450-FREE. What about you? What do you think? What's it going to take to defeat Trump, or should Trump be defeated in the first place? Will it ever matter to any of us? That's the open question. 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with Reputation Defender. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with Reputation Defender. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771. For your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with Reputation Defender. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771.
Jake was in big trouble with the IRS. He owed how much?
$92,000.
Ouch. The IRS left no room for Jake to breathe.
They put a lien on my house, took all the money out of my bank account, took money out of my paychecks. So it was a nightmare.
He needed help fast.
I figured that all these companies were the same until I called Federal Tax Management. You could just tell they knew what they were talking about. Right then and there, I felt like I had some hope.
Stop the liens, levies, and garnishments fast and qualify for one of several special IRS programs that could reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. So, how'd it go for Jake?
They did what they said they would do. They came through for me. I ended up saving an unbelievable amount. I was so jazzed. I was extremely happy.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, Take Jake's advice.
Give Federal Tax Management a phone call. If they help me, they can help anybody.
Call the Federal Tax Management Hotline now. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855 450 free. That's 855 450-3733. That's our toll-free number. That's how you, here on a Saturday night, a beautiful Saturday night in New Hampshire anyway, here's how you can get on the radio and let us know what you think or what your opinions are on almost anything. You got to remember, we are on over 200 radio stations. That means you got to keep it clean. Those FCC goons, they just love to shut down radio stations, and we don't want that to happen to
any of our stations.
Any of our affiliates. So keep it clean, keep it on point, and let us know what you have to say.
Right. The gentleman just called in about something that I find interesting, which is sort of which one of these liars and thieves is going to get the Democratic nomination, and then which one of those liars and thieves is going to get the presidential nod in November of 2020, and then take the office or resume the office in January 2021.
Nice. Let's bring him back. We'll see what Mason has to say. Mason, you still with us?
Hey, that's Nathan.
Nathan?
I'm sorry, the call screener evidently.
It's Mason now, soldier.
Yeah.
So
your name's Mason, and you're going to like it. My
don't sir me,
apologies.
I work for a living. So I'm looking at electionbettingodds.com here, and they've got Kamala Harris at this point at 30% likelihood and falling, winning the the Democratic nomination, and then Warren at 19%, and then Biden's way down at 15%, but rising. So he has previously been at the top. It's hard to say how these things are going to come out, and it's very early at this point. I'd say most Americans couldn't name 5 of the Democratic hopefuls here.
So my thoughts, and this your question was basically, what could any Democrat do to overcome Trump? What could he do? Go ahead.
It's true. Look, Well, I bet you they lost a lot of money when it came down to the 2016 election.
Who's that lost money?
The people you just named. I bet you the odds were increasingly against Trump, and people who said that Trump would win the election in illegal betting won a lot of money.
I could go back on the time machine. I didn't check that ahead of time. This is what I like to look at the betting odds because I really don't believe the polls. I want to know where people.
You can't believe the polls, but you can't even believe the betting odds on this one.
Yeah, I just want to know. Well,
it was a surprise.
It's saying here that let's see, the U.S. presidency for 2020, Trump's at 46.5% to win, which is higher than.
That's way off.
Well,
that is way off.
Higher than Harris at 15%. So he's definitely the highest candidate out there. But obviously, things are going to change. I don't know. It to me seems unlikely that anybody is going to unseat a president, especially one that's in a very positive economy. The one thing that could happen is that the third party, say the Libertarian Party, could put out a candidate that's very palatable, like Ross Perot was in the 90s.
You know, one thing that could happen is 620,000 Americans could go and try to attack Area 51.
Well,
that could do it.
I only saw 400. I only saw 400,000 lined up on the Facebook page, but maybe they're coming from someplace else. I think this is fascinating. I mean, would whatever guy sitting behind some, I don't know what, some kind of machine gun in Area 51 really mow down Americans that just want to see some broken down airplanes?
Look. Here's what's funny: they're liberals attacking, so they don't believe in guns or owning guns. So what are they going to attack them with? Sticks and stones?
No, they're not going to attack. They're just going to run at the base.
I read the plan. The plan is to have the first. I guess it's the first wave come in with pebbles. They will throw pebbles at them. They just want to annoy them. They don't want to actually get them shooting. So they are instructed to only throw pebbles.
Well, I think they'd be better off just climbing over the fence if there's enough of them.
You're not being serious, are you?
What?
I am serious.
I'm reporting. Here's what my serious thought is. My serious thought is that Donald Trump does not have the kind of filter to be able to say, to lie to us about what's going on in Area 51. I think if there are alien bodies in Area 51, that Donald Trump, if he knows about them, would tell. Bill Clinton claimed that there was nothing, and I don't believe him, but I believe him on that issue.
I think we need to watch Stranger Things 3 and just go ahead and promote that one. We're going to talk about this.
All right, Nathan.
You know what I mean.
Nathan, and your pseudonym, Mason. Thanks for
Nathan
calling
and
Free
Mason.
Talk. Yes, thanks
all
for
the
calling
best.
Free Talk Live. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. That's an interesting spin on it. I suspect that there is something to it, and they are wise enough not to tell Trump anything, especially if he has a smartphone handy and Twitter.
So if there's anything at Area 51, they're going to move it out.
Well, that
you need to have some scouts there sitting on the roads that leave out of Area 51 to make sure that they're not taking the alien bodies out. And how are you going to know?
Honestly, I think it was Popular Mechanics reported on this 3, 4, 5 years ago.
I love Popular Mechanics. I think it's the best publication in America.
Yeah, they don't always get it right, but their take on it was
Popular Science, you're number 2.
Area 51 was moved several years ago. That all the main efforts that were going underway had been moved to another military base, and I think it was something in a desert, and it was in California, but they just basically moved it and everything there. What Area 51 is really known for, and I've read a couple accounts of this, is that was literally ground zero for a lot of the nuclear testing in the United States. Yep. And if you go to Google Earth and you pull up Area 51, you can see it go all around it, and you will see craters, and those were from airburst nuclear weapons. So, and underground nuclear detonations that would leave a distinct cavity. So
here's one of the things, like, I guess, to me, we were just talking about how we shouldn't separate people into groups. I tend to separate people into groups just like every other human being. And one of the groups that I separate them into is libertarians and statists, right? So a statist is a person that believes the government's good at solving problems, say more than one or two different problems, period, is the way I would define it. I can see somebody saying a libertarian, like maybe the government should handle cops, courts, roads, and the military, right? And I can still call you a libertarian. That's what they call a minarchist, right, in the parlance of those in the know. But what you find with many of these UFers, people who believe in UFOs and that kind of thing, is a lot of statists, a lot of people that believe the government should solve a lot of problems. Right. How can you, on one hand, believe that the government is hiding important alien technology that could be used to make Americans and the world and the lives of the world better?
Oh, like Velcro, Mark?
All right. Velcro is just fuzzy fabric with some harder fabric attached to it.
So you say.
Right. So, how can you believe the government is hiding this information and then at the same time believe that it's a good organization to solve problems? I cannot understand this. Either it is a competent and secret-keeping organization, or it's an incompetent organization that wishes to keep, it shouldn't matter what secrets they're keeping. Right. Whatever's at Area 51 or whatever they have on aliens, I tend to think is probably just misidentified stuff.
I think we're still hung up on this whole are there aliens in the first place? And I think
there are.
Well,
there's certainly life on other planets.
Well, I think this year was the first year that we've last couple of years, and Trump has done a lot of it, has released the footage from the Air Force craft tailing aircraft that cannot possibly be human. And quite simply,
I haven't seen any of this.
Well, there's a ton of it. And if you look at it, you will see things that absolutely cannot be of this earth. Therefore, ergo,
but how much of that stuff?
UFO.
How much of that stuff has the government gotten a hold of?
They have. Well, they could be cooking it up. I guess that's a possibility.
The government can't stop attacks on their own buildings when they have that intelligence. They can't stop drugs from getting into their own prisons.
But apparently they can't do anything against this technology.
If you found alien technology, and I would presume that alien technology would be found by people, not by
no, it could be
non-governmental people, not by governmental people. If you found alien technology, would you turn it over to the government people?
Hell no.
I mean, or would you attempt to sell it to the highest bidder on eBay?
I would. Probably the highest bidder on the New York Stock Exchange would be my first attempt.
I mean, if it's all we need is a few of those guns from Halo 2, and we're in good shape.
Yeah, man. 855-450 free. We're talking aliens. I've been waiting for this moment for so very long, but I want to hear from you and what you have to say. 855-450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Are you concerned that the values that made America great are no longer taught in schools? Well, I am, so I got my son the Tuttle Twins children's book series.
My name is Jack, and I'm 11, and I just finished the Tuttle Twins series. It taught me about liberty, free market economics, and entrepreneurship.
Give all the young people in your life a chance at reason and clear thought, because they're not going to get it at school. There are 9 books in the series, and each one teaches a set of ideas that children aren't getting elsewhere. Go to TuttleTwins.com and use coupon code FTL to get 40% off. That's TuttleTwins.com.
There are basically 2 types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, Mark at freetalklive.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,405. Silver at $15.12, and Bitcoin is trading at $11,700. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, investigative journalist Vicky Ward dropped a bombshell on Tuesday in an article for the Daily Beast, where she reported that U.S. Secretary of Labor Alexander Acosta reportedly stated that ill-famed Jeffrey Epstein belonged to intelligence. The Mind Unleashed report said Acosta reportedly made the statement during his interviews with the Trump transition team, while being vetted for his current position of Labor Secretary. As the former U.S. Attorney in Miami, Acosta infamously cut Epstein a non-prosecution plea deal in 2007. For charges related to the sexual exploitation of underage girls. After being asked if the Epstein case would cause a problem in his confirmation hearings, Acosta reportedly responded that he only ever had one meeting about the case and had been told to back off, and that Epstein was above his pay grade. Quote, "I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone," end quote, Acosta told his interviewers. The Department of Labor had no comment when asked about it, according to the Daily Beast. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A Phoenix, Arizona man who was shot in his genitals by Phoenix police during a 2017 anti-Trump rally has decided to sue. Following a recent national investigation into the social media accounts of police officers, Scottsdale resident Josh Coben discovered that not only were his genitals targeted by police pepper balls, but he was the hapless brunt of police jokes as well. President Donald Trump visited Phoenix on August 22, 2017. A subsequent rally decrying his presence in the city took place on the streets of downtown Phoenix. Instead of peacefully protecting the protesters' constitutional rights to assemble and protest, Phoenix police fired tear gas and projectiles, such as the pepper ball which struck Coben. The young man was struck in his private parts after he decided to kick a canister of tear gas back in the direction of the police. Thousands of alien enthusiasts appear to be planning to storm the infamous Area 51 in Nevada in a desperate attempt to gain entrance into the conspiracy theorist mecca. The Mind Unleashed reports that a Facebook event named Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us, was started to announce the plan, which is scheduled to take place at 3 o'clock in the morning of September 20th, 2019. At the time of this publication, 316,000 Facebook users had RSVP'd to the event, and another 340,000 confirmed they are interested in attending. At the time of publication, over 15,000 posts had been made in the group, with memes, plans on how to hatch the raid, and even merchandise created for the event populating the page. Clearly, the page is meant to be a joke, but with so many saying they want to attend, the creator of the page made sure to clear himself of responsibility if there are some willing to storm the highly secure military base. The United States Air Force facility, commonly known as Area 51, is a highly classified remote detachment of Edwards Air Force Base within the Nevada Test and Training Range. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It seems like we're constantly hearing different fitness advice. Exercise 2 to 3 times a week for at least 30 minutes a day. And don't forget cardio. But don't exercise too much or you'll get hurt. So, how much exercise should you be getting? Well, actually not that much, since the human body is only built to withstand walking a short distance before lying or sitting down again. In fact, a group of biologists from Stanford found that walking more than 5 feet at a time can cause joint pain, fatigue, and even extreme hunger. The study concluded that the maximum effort the human body can safely endure is reaching for an item high on a shelf. Our bodies simply aren't built to stand up and move around. So maybe those high-intensity spin classes and daily jogs aren't such a good idea. Instead of walking up the stairs every day, try taking the elevator whenever possible. You can even use a fitness tracker to let you know when you've been exerting too much energy. Your body will appreciate it. For The Onion, I'm Jill Hooper.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. And we're live yet again. Like
for another hour.
For another hour. This is hour number 3, but we do this every night of the year. Now, there are some times when you guys go away and something like Freedom Fest is happening, and you guys will do some reporting from kind of on the scene.
We'll do a show for that day, but that show won't necessarily be broadcast live and allow call-ins and that sort of thing. Yeah.
But Dollars to Donuts, if you're listening between the hours of 7 p.m. and 10 o'clock Eastern,
we're here.
You're going to get a chance to call in if you would like to. We'd like you to.
And if you were listening just a few minutes ago when the last caller called in, he was talking about this idea, this would you call it a flash mob? This very large flash mob that is apparently being planned on the internet to show up at Area 51 in New Mexico to storm the location and see dim aliens, I believe is what they said they wanted to do.
So I'm sitting here going, nobody's going to show up, and I'm looking at my timeline on Facebook, and all of a sudden I see Luke Rutkowski is live streaming.
They're going to show up. Yeah, they're going to show up. Some people will show up. I don't know if it'll be 500,000, which is about what have said that they're going to at this point. But I called Ian yesterday, my normal first, and said we need to go. I think we should do a remote from out there and try to figure all this out. I'm
with you.
I want to talk to the people that showed up, and I'm not storming anything.
I'll storm.
I just want to be wherever. I want to be the legal line back here, wherever far enough that the bullets are dropping and hitting the sand.
Well, it is interesting, and I find it fascinating that we're yet once again talking about UFOs, and I swear to God, this skipped the entire country, and I don't think it made news really anywhere. Anybody was paying attention. I was paying attention because I find this stuff fascinating. But, going back to May 26th, the New York Times did a recap of a story that happened in 2015 where it says, wow, what was that? Navy pilots report unexplained objects. And this has been happening over the last 3 or 4 years with regularity. The U.S. government has been releasing footage of things that they can't explain, or they say they can't explain.
Right. So an unidentified flying object is what they say it is, an unidentified flying object. Now, are some of these alien visitors? I suppose. Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't propose to know. I will certainly say categorically it is virtually impossible that life doesn't exist on other planets.
I agree.
it seems unlikely that some of that life isn't capable of somehow, accessing technology that will allow them to travel through time and space in ways we don't understand. Getting them here. Because if they're traveling normal sort of space flight, slow train kind of, space flight, then they're not coming here because there's nothing exciting here. They're just not doing it. But if they can, use wormholes to travel from one end of the galaxy to the other or whatever, then okay, then maybe they're here. If they are, then do we have parts from spaceships of theirs? Well,
that's the question.
That's getting tough.
Yeah.
And do we have bodies? Man, that seems unlikely.
Well, and neither of these are exclusive of the other.
None.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. What I do find interesting is that, now after years and years of conditioning, we've seen Independence Day, we've seen all these different movies, and in 2015, the Navy releases footage of something. Folks, I just passed the video over to Mark, and we'll try to get it up on our social media. But this is just one example of something that you will certainly look at it, and you will certainly say, no, there is no way a aircraft using technology that we are familiar with could ever do that. And that is the same opinion of the Navy pilots and the same opinion of the U.S. Navy. This is technology that we can't explain how it could possibly do what it's doing.
Yeah, I just tweeted it out. It's at twitter.freetalklive.com and through most of our social media. I'll put it up on our Facebook too, just to make sure that you folks that are still using FedBook feel like you're still seeing the stuff.
I guess the mystery to me is, why do we still speak in terms of, maybe the government's got something there. Maybe they know something about UFOs and they're not telling us. Well, it seems to me that they have, over the last few years, they've released all kinds of stuff and they've said they can't explain it. What that means, when I see an aircraft flying in a way that cannot fly and be normal aircraft, that tells me it's another intelligence. And if it's not of this earth, then it's extraterrestrial intelligence, or it's a drone controlled with technology by extraterrestrials. To me, it just seems like this is a done deal.
It seems like the Navy pilots would, the Navy wouldn't be releasing footage of Navy pilots seeing things they don't understand if the Navy understood it, right?
Yeah. And
all right, it's up on the Facebook page too. There you go.
So I guess that's my question. I mean,
by the way, you can find those at twitter.freetalklive.com and facebook.freetalklive.com.
Thank you. I guess does anybody feel that this question's still out there? When I was growing up, I always imagined, the grand moment when the United States would finally reveal what we knew about aliens, and it seems to me like they just quietly did it, and because there wasn't much reaction from the public, they just, every year, every 2 years, they release a bunch more videos of, well, we can't figure out what this is, so. But we're all so blasé about it. What do you think, Mark? Is it just me?
Here's what I think basically what I've said, which is that if there are aliens visiting the planet, we don't have any evidence of them other than visual. Perhaps. And visual would have to be a mistake on their part. Like, they would have to have technology to not be visible if they can travel here at all.
If they even cared. Why would I care if I were invisible?
It would seem like I wouldn't go and disturb some undisturbed.
If that were your purpose, yes, you were
Stone Age group
studying the Stone Age. Yeah, that's a good argument.
And I would presume, if they're not here for, sort of positive reasons, by that scientific study and that sort of thing, then I would say that they're here for that. If they're here for, then the evidence is they're not here for negative reasons. If they're here for sort of warlike reasons, we're already screwed.
We're gonna go to the phones where we've got David in New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live. Tell me about UFOs.
Well, there's one that crashed 50 miles one side of me, and another one that landed and was witnessed by a cop 50 miles the other side of me.
So is Roswell one you were referring to?
Yeah, and Roswell is actually it's a misnomer. It's actually the town that's closest is you look on a map, it's Corona.
Yes. I remember reading.
Corona is a long ways from Roswell, but Corona is basically just outside of the White Sands missile range to the east, and Socorro is just outside White Sands to the west. So these two crashes, sightings, like a decade apart, were basically centered on White Sands, and there's been allegations forever that there's secret stuff. I mean, besides the obvious secret stuff, but the secret stuff, mysterious stuff at the Alamogordo Air Force Base. Anyway,
I do believe that there is something to the theory that during the Cold War years, and that there was more activity reported near nuclear power plants, closer to bombing ranges and things like that, which may be related to our sort of,
spies.
Yeah. Well, no. If you were studying a culture and suddenly they gained the power to destroy themselves, would that not be of an interest to another?
Well, there's a scientific theory out there that the vast majority of cultures that reach the power to destroy themselves do, right?
David, thanks.
And
go ahead.
And do I hear music?
You do. Hold on. I'll
That's
hold
his
you
teaser.
over.
And
nice try. We'll get back to you. 855-450 free. I want to talk about UFOs, but you don't have to. Give us a call. Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale. Totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into a municipal fee-generating meat grinder. My God! Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Invest. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
If you're looking for work, it's a process of elimination, and you're trying not to be eliminated. So here's a tip for making the cut, and this might seem subtle, but to the person interviewing you, it's not. There is a world of difference between applicants who convey, "I need a job," and those who simply ooze, "I want to work," especially in these lean times when many you're competing with will seem desperate in "I'll take anything" mode. If you convey specific interest in this job at this company, you will be conspicuous. Thus, the value of going to school on the company you're applying to before the interview. With money and attention so tight now, effective communication skills have never been more important. For more tips for job seekers and everyone else, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, 855 450 free. That's free as in freedom, free as in no free lunch, 855 450 3733. We want to hear from you. We have been all over the board. We've been talking about police being encouraged to adopt the Punisher logo in solidarity to some officers that have been getting in trouble for doing things sort of untoward the behavior of a police officer.
And we have talked about the presidential elections, and we've also talked about, had a caller call in about this idea that the kids are going to storm Area 51 coming up in September. And that got us onto UFOs and that kind of thing. And it's fascinating stuff. I watched that video, Chris, that you shared through our social media. So you can go to facebook.freetalklive.com. You can go to twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can see this posting of these Navy videos shared by the New York Times. That the videos are amazing. I'll talk about them here in just 1 second. But first, I want to talk about Freedom's Phoenix. It's a liberty-oriented news aggregation site. And if you want the newest and freshest stories and perspective on current events from those who value liberty, freedomsphoenix.com has it. Their daily dispatch is the best way to stay up to date on science, technology, historical findings, liberty news, government overspending, and the rise of the police state. Freedoms with an S, phoenix.com, freedomsphoenix.com. And this video, here's what I'll say. I don't know whether this, you were saying that this device, whatever these things are, this object, that's right, yes. Unidentified flying object, this UFO, and that's what it is, because they didn't identify it.
And still remains unidentified. Yes, that's true.
This UFO flies unlike anything that man knows. I don't know how things fly. So what I would say is if I were making a documentary about UFOs, I would use this footage.
Sure.
But that's all I can say. I don't know anything else. I'm not claiming it's aliens or anything like that. I don't know.
Mark, you're in denial.
Well, that's fine. I'm just kidding. It's not an area that I'm an expert in, and I try to remain skeptical of everything as long as I can.
I understand.
And I have to be categorically convinced. So what I'm convinced of is this is an unidentified flying object. And it seems to me, for good reason, that it's unidentified. Because I couldn't identify it. But I don't know the video. Like, I don't understand what the other things I'm looking at. In one case, it looks like clouds. Another case, it looks like something over the water. If it's something over the water, something could travel that quickly. I don't know.
And you might be seeing a couple different clips kind of mashed up together.
I did see a couple of different clips.
I think it's interesting.
The first clip I find more convincing than the second.
When I would see, a blurry picture of something rising over a building.
Right.
And to me, that could be anything. I mean, I can see how somebody would say that looks sort of like a UFO, but it's impossible to get any perspective. I don't have something of a known size to compare it to, things like that. I guess what I look at this is this is visual evidence of a whole new characteristic, and the fact that our government hasn't just immediately shut it down and said, that's some swamp gas reflecting off of Venus or something like that. It hasn't been that. It's like we can't explain it either. I think that, to me, is the best evidence that there really is something. And I think
isn't that evidence that there is nothing in Area 51? Because if the government is letting out videos of videos of
nothing left
UFOs,
nothing left to see. You've seen it all,
right? So why would they then try to keep other things a secret?
I think there's varying degrees of secrecy. I know that from my time in the military.
Yeah, sure. The government keeps lots of secrets about lots of things, and in many cases, what we've seen is that the secrecy has grown over time. So I don't know.
I think that the government feels,
if there are really cool things in Area 51, why hasn't somebody smuggled one of them out?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I think this demonstrates to me that it is time to let people know that they were right all along about the big picture. There is other life. There is life besides us. It is not a planet where we're not at the center of the universe. That there is other life out there, and I think these demonstrate that.
So anybody who takes any time to think about it, who doesn't come at it with some already planted agenda, like God created Earth and everything else doesn't exist or whatever, it's just a big reflection on a giant mirror or whatever the hell they think.
On the back of a giant tortoise.
I don't know what they could come at it with to not believe it, but I mean, statistically, it is nearly impossible for life not to exist on other planets. Now, is that life intelligent? Well, it is on. If we call intelligence whatever the hell we've got on this planet, then fine. The bar isn't that high. We've got likely they're at it. So are they capable of interstellar travel?
Well,
that's we aren't. And we don't even know how to do it at this point. Yeah. Scientists on Earth are trying to figure out how we would ever get outside of the solar system because it's got some kind of, I don't know, force field or something on it.
But if you can posit that
Kuiper belt,
that there are billions of planets out there, or billions of different forms of life, then those have to have evolved during every period of millennia,
right?
Not just happening to be in the one we're currently in. So some of these may have evolved technologically 1,000, 1,000,000 years ago.
Sure,
and they could be light years ahead of where we are.
Yeah, the most likely situation is the vast majority of them are not as far along as we are.
We're going to go back to the phones where we've got David.
We've talked all the way through David. David's still there.
David's still there. I apologize, David, but we had so much fun, and he's like the one guy we know from New Mexico.
He's got the aliens here.
He's definitely got Roswell in his blood.
Inside track.
You guys got the aliens. Be cool. Be cool. Don't turn around, Mark. Don't look behind you. Look on your monitor. There are 3 aliens behind you right now. What? You see them?
I don't know. I'm hoping they give me a back rub.
There are 3 of them. They're like you can see their typical alien faces on your reflected on your black backdrop there.
All right.
So what you got?
I do kind of see. I see what you're saying. There is if you go to cam.freetalklive.com, there are strange shapes made by the lighting in the room that kind of look
there's
head shaped.
There's a gray, a reptilian, and a Wookiee.
Nice.
So what have you seen, David?
Nothing. I ain't seen nothing. But on that the White Sands, that's the Trinity site is in White Sands. And like I said a million times before, that was my cousin Ernest Orlando Lawrence that made that nuclear material. And that's probably what they were after.
The aliens?
Yeah, the aliens are probably after my cousin. That's what they wanted.
Why would they care about nuclear material?
I have no idea, but they were.
It's fact. Hey, David, thanks for the call.
Well, it's a coincidence that all that stuff is there where everybody says the aliens are.
It is indeed a mystery, yet another mystery that we will not solve tonight. And you don't have to talk about it. You'll just make me a happy guy if you do continue.
The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE as in Free Talk Live. Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to MyMagicMud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. MyMagicMud.com, FTL20. Are you concerned that the values that made America great are no longer taught in schools? Well, I am, so I got my son the Tuttle Twins children's book series.
My name is Jack, and I'm 11, and I just finished the Tuttle Twins series. It taught me about liberty, free market economics, and entrepreneurship.
Give all the young people in your life a chance at reason and clear thought, because they're not going to get it at school. There are 9 books in the series, and each one teaches a set of ideas that children aren't getting elsewhere. Go to TuttleTwins.com and use coupon code FTL to get 40% off. That's TuttleTwins.com.
Free Talk Live.
I have a license. That means you're protected. That's nonsense. Just because somebody has a license doesn't mean anything about their business acumen. It doesn't mean anything about their ability to satisfy their customers.
It essentially means that they paid the state money.
And
that's
jumped through
it.
the hoops. Yep.
And filled out some paperwork.
Exactly. And that's all that the license means. But yet it has this aura of legitimacy to it. Oh, it's a license. And they paid some money to the state, and so therefore they must be a good company. It's absurd.
And absolutely. And what it does is it depletes the pool of people out there that would be doing business in that particular way. You know, they just can't get up the money to get the license. They can't get up the money to get the fancy vans and all that other stuff that's involved in being a contractor or whatever. I'm thinking of plumbers right now, I guess. And different plumbing jobs require different levels of skill. When you're talking about just a regular thing, why can't you have a handyman guy come in and do it? Why does he have to be licensed?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Tent approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's free as in freedom, 855-450-3733. Just stumbling over things a little bit. That's my bad brain. You are listening to probably the only talk show in America being hosted right now by somebody with the debilitating form of Lyme disease. I am just a mess. You ought to see it in my head.
Well, you said that it was making you tired a lot.
I got the tired first, and then all the symptoms began a more neurological bent, so it was not being able to put a sentence together quickly.
Do you think there's any chance it's the aliens?
It could be. I think there we go. It's all coming together now. Alien ticks. But it was also things like a loss of balance, blurred vision, and just all kinds of crazy, silly things. But right now, we've not been talking about anything silly. We're talking about serious things, and that's UFOs and
Is that serious?
Believe it or not.
It doesn't feel serious.
No, I am going to take over this radio program.
It doesn't need to be serious. Free Talk Live is not a serious show.
Exactly, and we spend an awful lot of time talking about some very serious topics. And,
sure,
and
if that's what people call in about. But a guy called in about Area 51 and the proposed internet idea of storming the place and finding out what dim aliens look like or whatever. And I think it could be serious for the people who try that.
Well, we're going to go to the phones and see what people want to talk about now. Glenn is calling from Myrtle Beach. Glenn, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hey, guys. What I wanted to tell you was I've never heard anybody mention this before. There's a special unit in the military called the Night Stalkers, and they specialize in something called craft retrieval. They fly around in black uniforms with blacked out helicopters. You can Google this.
They are the real men in black?
Craft retrieval.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just telling you, if you Google it, Night Stalkers, that's what they do. And the second thing I want to tell you guys is the reason the aliens might be interested in what we're doing with nuclear is because when you set off a nuclear bomb, you set off an EMP blast. It fries any electronics that are in the area. And just because the aliens are more advanced than us, they may not have ever used nuclear as a bomb, as a weapon. Even if they invented fission, they may not have used it as a weapon. So they might not have any idea of how to shield against an EMP blast, and we might be knocking their electronics out.
That's a possibility. I would see it as any kind of electromagnetic wave, and that's what radio is. It can go
Did he hang up?
I think so.
Was it the aliens?
Well, it says we hung up.
There you go.
But I guess if you were to do that, I think this planet would have suddenly appeared very noisy in distant radar telescopes, radio telescopes around the.
All I can say about the Night Stalkers is they do not appear to wear black uniforms.
See, why didn't they go all Will Smith? I mean, you pretty much had the outfit right there. You would have looked cool doing it too.
I haven't had a chance to read anything about them. I don't know if they. What they do, but they're a special operations force, the United States Army, that provides helicopter aviation support for general purpose forces and special operations forces. So it sounds like they fly people into spots.
There you go. We're going to go to Harvey in Texarkana. Harvey, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Well, have you guys any remembrance of the Congress interviewing James Comey when they were asking him about Hillary Clinton?
Yes.
Various times.
Okay, did you watch very closely? There's two people who threatened Comey. Don't believe me, go back and check the tape.
I just want to qualify by say that I did not pay very close attention to that. I usually caught the snippets that was on the news, but tell me.
Well, if you've ever been around a Mason, and I was at one time, you will see they have certain signs. And there's two people there that threatened Comey. One was a black guy. He also told Donald Trump that he would not allow him into his state, and he's the head of one of the little cliques they've got going up there. He's also a friend of Farrakhan's.
Interesting. I have not heard a connection between Freemasonry and Farrakhan and James Comey yet.
Not Freemasonry, but this guy, the black guy that threatened Comey, and I, described.
You don't know his name?
I forget it, but he's on a special counsel right now that's doing some of the investigating.
Well,
he's one of the group of 5 that went to see Farrakhan. Then there's a white guy that was on the same panel, and he threatened Comey as well. Now,
so what are you concluding from this? That this is a threat to Comey?
They told Comey, if you say anything that we don't like, we're going to kill you.
They said that in a congressional hearing. That should be the punchline. Thanks for the call. I know I'm the one who's sitting here talking about UFOs, but it's hard to follow every possible conspiracy theory that's come up about the special counsel and James Comey, and I'm sure there are some of them that are probably on the money, and I don't know which ones.
Why would you threaten to kill the guy? I mean, if you threaten to kill the guy, it's just because you want to limit what he says. If you want to kill the guy, you wouldn't threaten him.
Indeed. We're going to go to John in Dover. John, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Yeah, hey, guys. You probably don't recall because you obviously get a lot of phone calls from a lot of different folks around the country, but I'm the gentleman that introduced you guys to the cotton candy grapes.
Cotton candy grapes. I had some of those just this week.
I do it, man. I put you on to them, and now you're hooked.
They're great. They're delicious. I love them.
I'm telling you, I got 2 new items to let everybody know about.
Okay.
One of the new, yeah, man. One of them is they're called Dude Wipes, and actually, I've been thinking of this idea for years myself.
Dude Wipes.
Dude
I think I've heard of this.
Can you guess what they're for, guys?
Yes, I think I can. I imagine they're basically baby wipes with rebranding.
I mean, how easy was that, man? Rebrand it. I mean, toilet paper is old-fashioned. You wipe and you still leave some there.
I know, but what you could do with that, you could take it on Shark Tank, like the last guy I saw on Shark Tank who brought Dude Wipes.
So I'm not going to claim it's a bad idea, but I will claim.
They have them out, guys.
Okay, all I'm saying is, if you own your own house, don't use these. Because it's going to be bad for your plumbing.
Because it will clog your, yeah.
Right. So
I'm a renter,
but
you're absolutely correct.
Well, yeah, I have a solution for you. There's a company called Toto, and they are not paying me.
Yes.
There's a company called Toto, and they sell a device called a washlet, and this is a lid that goes on your it's a toilet lid. And instead of just being an ordinary toilet lid, which keeps your butt from sitting on cold porcelain, or covers the toilet, depending on how you're using it at that particular time, it also has built into it some, part washing features.
Yes.
And they have different, you can pay different amounts for different ones of these, but if they're all basically the same. They shoot water up at your nether regions after you have done the dirty, and they clean it off so that you can then use a little TP to take care of if there's anything left, and usually there's not. This has changed my life.
You're not the first one here in this studio who has said that. People are nuts over it.
So much better than real life. I don't know how you animals out there live without them, actually, now that I've had one for
Dude Wipes,
4 months.
Exactly, man. Toilet paper is a thing of the past, folks. Let's forget about the toilet paper, and let's start getting ourselves cleaned up properly on the backside. How about it?
I'm all for it. Thanks for the call. 855-450 free. There's still time for you to get in. You want to talk about whatever you like, whether it's the Comey situation, whether it's Dude Wipes, or whether it's UFOs, or anything else. We're here to listen. 855-450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with Reputation Defender. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with Reputation Defender. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with Reputation Defender. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's Dan.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless free market non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. Final segment of the evening. But that doesn't mean there's not enough time for you to get on and get on the air. We've got one person calling in with Discord, and we haven't really talked about Discord. Shame on us. Discord is such a cool technology. You just load the app on your phone, on your laptop, use your high-speed internet connection and your high-quality microphone, and you will sound like you are right here in the studio with us. I think that's pretty amazing. You can find out more at discord.freetalklive.com. And you can watch us in so many places, it's almost...
The easiest is just go to cam.freetalklive.com.
That's a good one, yes.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's also Twitch. We've got a channel there. And
Twitch, DLive, YouTube, any of them.
Yep.
You just put those words in front of freetalklive.com because that's what we do here for you. We make it easier for you to go to any place that we have going on with subdomains.
Well, it's something that's going to work for you, and that's what we like to do. We are going to go to Bear with me. We are going to go to Decentralized Liberty. Decentralized, are you there?
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, yeah, it's decolonized, but it's really not important. Decentralized works just as well, actually. But I am. It's Mortified Penguin from the Discord, and I'm calling about Area 51.
All right.
And
are you going to be storming it with the other millennials?
65,000 people, citizens, or I don't care if the citizens or not really, but people, probably mostly Americans, storming an American base. I mean, we aren't we the government? It's our property, right? I mean,
where did you get this 65,000 number? Because I've seen higher numbers than that.
Well, yeah, but do you know when they have these Facebook groups, how many people actually show up? I think 65,000.
You're just taking the 650,000 and dividing it by 10 because you think that might be how many people show up?
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
okay.
Look, the more the better. So here's the latest plan I've seen is the largest. I don't know if I should share it in this way, but the largest number are going to be have the flanks covered initially by Naruto runners. They're running in full speed, hands behind their back.
What kind of runners?
Straight at the guns. Naruto. It's an anime. And the rest of the front lines will be covered by incels and the furries. And those are basically the bullet sponges. And while they launched a head-on assault, that's like Operation Human Shield. Then in the back, the rear should be unguarded. Because I mean, really, how can they have that many guards to cover that many? It's not
like they don't have a date and an actual time.
It's not like we told them when we're coming.
Yeah,
they could move all of the U.S. military there.
How can they stop that many people?
Well, 65,000. Let's see. There's about 500,000 people just in the Army alone. So
no. I disagree with you, Mark. And this is a good example of what if we just did X? Are they going to stop all of us? I think in a lot of these situations they can't. They've got 1 million plus people in the military.
Can. They just won't.
Exactly. That's a better way of putting it. They have that number of soldiers, but those soldiers are spread across 700 different countries that we have military bases in. God knows where they're at, and are they organized to all fall on the Las Vegas desert?
They could get plenty of people to protect Area 51 if they wanted to protect Area 51. If they took it seriously, and yes, I do not.
Right.
I do not think that 65,000, and I understand you're dividing by 10 here, Penguin, but I do not think 65,000 people will show up to storm Area 51, and I suspect that the United States government is just as skeptical as I am.
I think they're laughing, but this would be a great...
I think they're laughing because there's nothing worth finding there.
But what if, look, for one thing, if they have alien technology there, doesn't that belong to all of us, the people, the taxpayers of this country?
I think that if they're...
Second of all...
I guess the answer to that is yes.
Yeah. I would think so. And second of all, I mean, if 65,000 people, if 6,500 people decided to do anything, I mean, something that needs to be done or people think is that important, are they really going to pull out every stop? Are they just going to mow people down in order to stop it?
Well, I think that first off, I think the number one problem is that the people who are organizing this are organizing it as an attack, even if it is a poorly planned attack.
Well, it's sort of a joke attack.
Well, okay.
I mean, they're not being.
If somebody jokes about attacking my house and I shoot them,
oh God,
I can then point to the joke attack memes and say, hey. Well, so what I think they should do is they should just go naked and say, hey, we come in peace, but we're coming in. Naked with a pair of bolt cutters, and we're coming in. And that way soldiers have to shoot naked people with bolt cutters.
Yeah, I mean, but 65 and shooting the narrative around can't do that. But look, I don't want to attack anything. I just want the Needler from Halo. Sick gun.
Which one? So I know that there's some really awesome weapons in Halo, and I played I think it was Halo 2 on the Xbox probably 15 or plus years ago. Which weapon are we talking about here?
The Needler was the one that shot like bright purple needles that homed in on a target.
Needler. Sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
understand. I thought you said Needler.
Somebody from Discord says, the heck with Area 51. Let's all just not pay our taxes for a day. Then what are you going to do about anything? That's a good point.
It's a good question.
Hey, thanks for the call.
That's kind of my point, yeah. All right, take care, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But I think in a lot of these discussions, it's like, well, you know, all the power of the United States will fall. Well, you get into individual agencies and, you know, the numbers are not always daunting, that you can always make a case that they could if they wanted to. But also, we the people, if we wanted to do a whole lot of things, you could do it. And I think that's, I agree
that they can, and I support it in so much as they're putting together something.
Right.
And I think that it would be interesting to know what's going on in Area 51. But again, I tend to believe if there was some really good stuff to release, that Trump would have already released it.
You think he would?
Yeah, I think he would have.
Yeah.
I think he just for the headlines. He cares about, you know, making a splash.
I think if he would have known about it, it would have gotten out, and that's why I posit that may be a reason they don't tell Trump some of those things.
And if not, if he hasn't yet released it, then he should demand a trip to Area 51.
Right.
Like right off. I want to be there tomorrow, so you don't have a chance to move the bodies. They can't stop him from going.
Right.
And then, you know, take his pictures or do whatever he's going to do, and then release it all in October of 2020.
Yeah.
If that doesn't get him some votes, I don't know what will.
You may be giving Trump some ideas here. I don't know. If
he wants even more votes, pardon Snowden, pardon Ross Ulbricht.
Thank you. When it comes back to numbers and the might of the federal government, I always think back to Larkin Rose's video, The Tiny Dot. Did you ever see that?
No.
It's really short. It's really simple. But
how would I find it?
You can find it on YouTube.
YouTube.com, The Tiny Dot.
The Tiny Dot, Larkin Rose. But he posits that this big, huge behemoth that everybody is terrified of, you know, he demonstrates the size of the IRS in actual size, the size of Congress compared to the numbers of the rest of the country. And you start to realize that these agencies, you know, those big, huge, scary, all of a sudden they're not quite so scary.
Well, I would agree that the IRS is pretty much hated by Americans. I'm guessing that 99% of Americans would say, yeah, of all the government agencies, I hate the IRS the most, especially if you feed them that answer.
True.
Then, you know, Congress has had ratings as low as 6%. They actually, no, I think it was 4% lower than cockroaches that were at 6%. Anyway, I mean, Congress has come in lower than cockroaches. So, yeah, you are picking the two groups that people hate the most. And without either one of those groups, the whole apparatus falls apart. Now,
right.
I don't think we need the United States federal government for much of anything. I'll go ahead and concede a standing army, but I think that standing army could probably be a tenth.
Exactly what they didn't want, by the way, but that's all right.
Right. Well, Hamilton certainly did want a standing army. Jefferson certainly did not. So the Federalists wanted the standing army. The Anti-Federalists didn't. The arguments they made for a standing army makes some sense, but the standing army that we have far exceeds anything that the founders, even the ones that were pro-military, ever imagined.
And that's all the time we have for you, but thank you for joining us. Thank you for entertaining my desire to talk about UFOs and all the interesting topics you brought up this evening. There'll be more tomorrow evening because we do this every night. This is Free Talk Live.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is